कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen yaar, don't be so conservative.
God, what a show. A very horrible last few hours for me, thinking about the world, the Chicago shootout, the beheadings back in Rajasthan, all the kinds of polarization that seems to be still happening, and the fact that the monsoons are becoming worse and worse and people are suffering. But above all this, the biggest pain I felt in a long time was yesterday afternoon, India time, when a guy called Joe Root and his good friend, Mr. Johnny Bairstow, both from Yorkshire, England, beat the living daylights of the Indian bowlers. It was so painful that my mother was crying. I said, "What happened?" And something hit me eye. She said, "No, Bairstow and Root." And, this is going to happen for some time. These guys are unbelievable. They're batting like machines. I almost thought we should cancel the show as a mark of 2 minute silence kind of feeling for Indian cricket, because we were on top for the entire game, and then the last couple of sessions they just turned it around with a 270-run partnership. And everybody is gobsmacked and stunned. It's almost like a death in the family because it just happened out of the blue, out of left field against the run of play. I mean, how does this happen? Questions are being asked, fingers are being pointed, but no answers yet. Rahul Dravid has not picked up the phone. I've been trying to call him, but I've just been told to rein in the rant because we have to talk about other things on Cock and Bull and not my personal show on cricket. We have with us the erudite gentleman from the West, Mr. Amit Doshi, finally. Not finally, he's there a few days back.
Mhm.
We have Silvery recovering from COVID. He's 6 months now of
Yes,
illness.
of course. Yeah.
Going for the world record.
Why less?
The North Korean, under the reign of Kim Jong Un, has suffered 32 years of Bimari. But let's see how
Correct.
far he goes.
Yes.
Abbas
Yes.
couldn't make it, and we don't give a damn anyway. Sparsh is our new producer. You'll see him at some point. We need to show him visually from time
Actually, he
to time.
can put his
Yeah.
face in right now because there's
Yeah,
nobody sitting.
Sparsh,
We have an empty chair.
you're invited to sit on Ayushi's chair. Ayushi is running a little late. She will be here soon. Well, we allow her to be late because she's coming from the back and beyond.
Yeah.
A
I,
reference used for South Bombay these days.
I'd say Vinay and Sparsh have the whole Uddhav Thackeray Eknath Shinde thing going.
Yeah,
Vinay Uddhav and Sparsh is Eknath Shinde, the new one in power.
yeah. It's pulled the rug under the feet of that
Yeah.
young, unhappy man. Yeah, it's so sad.
I,
And as
I would say this though. In this case, Vinay resigned. It's not like Spurs.
Yeah, of course.
tapped him
No,
on
no,
the
we,
back.
Amit, for you, Vinay
that we
resigned
know
because
of.
that's the end result. And so the formality is he resigned. How it underplayed or played under that, we don't know. Lots of things
Correct.
happened between these two. Vinay was a very happy man relatively 3 weeks ago. And today
Yeah.
he's defeated and broken. And he just has anxiety attacks all the time. I don't know what happened, but all's fair in love and war and career, so we can't say anything about that. In fact, we were talking offline. Silvery was talking about the fact that they've gone to the Supreme
Uddhav
Court.
Thackeray.
The original Shiv Sena has gone to the. This is going to be great fun, to always figure out who
Yeah.
we're talking
That
about.
that was a
This-
fun
yeah,
tweet, right?
yeah,
I mean, like that came out that Shiv Sena is suing the Shiv Sena
yeah,
in the Supreme Court, but because the Shiv Sena government was not the actual Shiv Sena government, but
yeah.
a different Shiv Sena.
Yeah.
I think this is funny.
Yeah, it's not just funny, it's real. When real is funny, it's the best funny. And anyway, so Uddhav has gone to the Supreme Court to say that they're not the real Shiv Sena and that whatever's
Yeah.
happened has happened and it should not be allowed. I don't know how you can do anything. Politics is pretty fair. They have numbers, people switch sides. You're allowed to switch sides. Nobody says you can't switch sides. So that's the way it is.
Also, while
Um,
addressing the Shiv Sena in like an assembly, Uddhav said, and I quote, Shinde, to whom I had given the responsibility of the entire party, has backstabbed me, while the NCP and Congress has remained with us. It is painful to see that those MLAs and ministers who won due to being Sena workers have now got everything themselves and have left me, basically.
That's also insulting the Congress. They've stayed with us. We don't
Yeah,
care.
yeah, who cares?
That's unnecessary.
Yes.
But you're quoting him in English. He doesn't speak it. So in Marathi, the actual
This is, yes,
translation
translated.
needs to be correct hoga kam se kam.
Well,
And there was also an actual, like, I mean, like the original backstabbing also happened, right? Into the again,
Oh, you mean the formation of the government in the first
formation
place?
of the first
Yeah,
one.
it was built on
It
intrigue
was-
and deceit. You're right. Very well put.
Exactly.
True.
Like,
Yes,
it is-
yes, true.
So how can they complain? But about
Yeah.
that, how can anybody complain
Guys,
in
Ayushi
politics?
is here. So
Oh,
I'm taking your
Ayushi
leave
is
for
here.
today.
We
I'll
have
join
a
some other day.
female
Thank you,
presence.
Cyrus, for
Sparsh,
having me.
how do we put it politely in the words of Bernard Shaw? Fuck off.
Thank you, Cyrus.
Ayushi, come. He wasn't taking your place. We were just, we'll have this conversation when we're not live. She wants to discuss the weather.
Thank you, Ayushi. Come, sit down. We're in the middle of a very political sort of discourse over the shenanigans in the Maharashtra government that have been going on and
Oh
have
my
pained Mr. Uddhav
God.
Thackeray. And nobody can understand why he's feeling pain because, as Amit pointed out, they set a they pulled the rug under the
Set the
BJP,
precedent.
formed the
But
Nice,
isn't
government.
this
nice.
a tit
Yeah.
for tat
It is.
But
situation?
it's the same thing played out
Yeah.
again. It's almost like karma, isn't it?
No, you can't feel bad.
No, I'm not feeling bad. I'm just saying they were.
Not you, him.
Yeah, that's what. But
I
he's,
doubt you feel
Yep.
he's
bad.
no, I don't feel bad. I mean, he's very upset. He was watching
He
Umrah
feels bad
Jain.
about the VIP traffic in front of his house now, which is
Yeah.
increased,
What's
right?
worse?
That's what you're
You
saying.
know what's worse now for our part of the world? Because this Mr. Shinde, our
Huh.
new chief minister, who I love and whose posters in my house, obviously because I love him. Well, he has a house right outside WA Club, where
Is
when he
it?
was holding a berth in the ministry, they gave him that
Hmm.
house, the one right outside the
Oh,
club
okay,
as you
okay,
enter the
okay. Yeah,
lane.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's his.
Yeah, that's his. So he still got that, and because they are worried about the original Shiv Sena attacking the new Shiv Sena, while
Hmm.
that's playing out, they've got police and commandos and all outside there. So they're sitting on chairs on the main road as you enter
On
the
the
lane.
main road.
Yeah, yeah. Except when it rains, then the chairs are left and they
No,
go
no,
in.
no,
That's
no.
typical of the police presence in
Of
Mumbai.
course.
The moment it rains, all the paraphernalia is kept there so that it continues to disturb traffic, but they go into safety.
Your sense of like integrity and loyalty is only as long as the weather is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they can save him while it's sunny, and otherwise
In the
he's
rain, he's lost.
give Mr. Shinde an air pistol and say, "Boss, aim, fire if somebody attacks you."
It's on you.
Yeah, but they are threats, by the way, and they play out for
100%.
some time.
Listen, we're
course.
not. It is still the Shiv Sena on both sides.
But
as
they've
we
forgotten
discussed.
how to be the Shiv Sena. So Shinde is reviving the spirit of the original Wankade pitch digging Shiv Sena. He's trying to bring back the principles on which it was built. Maro sab log ko and all that. What happened to that beautiful,
No, but
peaceful,
I'm sure
harmonious
there are
sentiment?
threats to him as well because it is the Shiv Sena at the end of the day, right? I mean, like all the nice polish on it and all that, but you can only polish.
No, the threats are on Shinde only.
Yeah.
Because the original, as we keep saying, we have to keep saying,
Yeah.
the
So
OGs.
how are we distinguishing between is it like 0.0, is it iPhone 6 versus the 7?
It's something,
like,
you're right.
what is the
It's a
situation?
huge problem also for the allies because they can't
Like, where do
remember.
you exactly
and
who are you
actually,
supposed
original.
to be
What
with?
is original, right? Is original the family? Is it the dynasty original, or is
No,
original the
those are the
attitude?
creators. Original, as in the original block of people, which included Mr. Shinde, and now he broke away, so he's no longer original. He's Nuwa.
No, but the
Nuwa
question
Shiv
is,
Sena. To use a Marathi phrase.
what is
Okay.
original though, right? Is original come from the family, or does original
Well,
come
they
from the
created.
attitude?
They did create it. So
But he's got the attitude,
Oh,
right? He's
that's-
got
that's
the
a good
original
point.
But I
That's a
guess
good
that's what he's been arguing so far is that
Yeah.
I actually have the
yeah,
original
the blood in my
attitude.
veins is real Shiv Sena,
Yeah.
and these are not real Shiv Sena
Exactly.
Yeah, because they've gone NCP
Not
and
enough
all
bigotry.
of that.
because
stuff.
they are driving.
Yes, exactly.
They're driving Pajeros, which is not a Shiv Sena vehicle, as far as I know.
What-
Or
what's,
as we say in Marathi, Pajero.
what's the Sena vehicle?
It used to be the BEST bus because they were for the locals. Now what happened? Now sabke paas badi badi
Wow.
gaadi hai. What's going on? Selling
So
out,
do you
bro.
think it's coming down to then is it either Maharashtra first or Hindutva first? Basically, is that what is happening?
It is.
No, no, it's
Hindutva got
Maharashtra.
lost in all this a
I
little
think
bit.
like this is Maharashtra first. When
It's not
Fadnavis-
Maharashtra first. It's me
It's
first.
Hindutva.
Me is
it's-
Maharashtra only, not me.
It's me two political versions. Me, mala. Me, Marathi, me, mala.
Same thing.
Very
But
good.
I don't know what you all have covered so far, but this floor
Nothing.
test that they're doing now what the Supreme Court said again on the 11th, they'll hear
Mhm.
Uddhav's plea to
Yeah.
about about the validity of that speaker calling for the dismissal of those
It's-
MLAs. And all. What is the point? So even if
all
suppose it
nonsense.
goes in his favor, suppose by some
Why should it go in his favor?
It won't.
I don't know. What if
think
they're like,
so, at this
yeah,
point.
that ruling stands. They should have been
Uh,
dismissed, so they couldn't have voted then. Like, I mean, if he goes
In
down
politics,
that
you
route.
can change your mind on who you're supporting in like 5 minutes. What is there's no.
But then why are they even hearing the plea on the 11th?
There is an anti-defection law, right, which does have some
Yeah.
parameters.
What is this anti-defection law?
It's a bullshit
Everybody
law.
defects all the time.
It's
They
a
must be
bullshit
there on
law.
paper.
I
and-
don't even think it's called defection now. It's just called.
This is not a defection.
It's
He,
Politics.
India
It's
is not a
called-
defection.
yeah.
As you rightly pointed out, he's saying we are the original sort
He
of
has a
vein
right,
here,
yeah.
and so I'm just going back to the Vedas sort of thing, and that's what we're going to do.
But do you think Uddhav should have put up a little bit more of a fight, or do you think the way he kind of?
I think he's a little touchy. You're right, and he got a little upset, and yeah, instead of holding
I
his
took it
ground.
very personally.
So what could he
Fire
do?
that
Once the
fucking
numbers are
Sanjay,
40
man.
plus X, the
Yeah.
numbers are in favor
I
of
don't
BJP.
think he had options, right?
Yeah.
It's not about the options. It's all the. I'm saying attitude.
No, he
Like-
had one option.
So
he has the
you're-
key to Varsha. He can lock
How
everything and run
actually-
off. so they
How
can't enter.
surprised do you think he was actually caught? Like, you think he was really caught unawares of this? He had no idea this was going to be happening.
No, of course. In the beginning,
Not even
the
prepared.
word must have got out from the Shinde camp about
Yeah.
whatever, so that he wants to be.
There's
Because
no
if he could have been
loyalty here.
assuaged by Uddhav stepping down and giving him the. If you remember the early days, he would have given
Yeah.
Shinde chief ministership, and this whole thing would have ended, and he may have stayed with
Yeah.
the original alliance. As you know, they don't really care about who they're with. It's about what they get out of it. I mean,
Yeah,
isn't that
of course.
clear
It's
now?
just it's a grab
Yeah.
for power at
It
the end of
is.
the day. I mean, like Fadnavis also.
But he was fabulous. Fadnavis is saying we are ED, Eknath and Devendra. ED. The
Yeah,
BJP
he did.
was for ED.
Wow.
It is so. It's like one of those like sad laughs where you're just like oh, it's the end
Oh,
of
yes.
everything.
No, but in a way, they will think. I mean, they will really enjoy this one because they were gobsmacked themselves when the rug was pulled out under their feet in the
That
beginning.
they did not see coming.
They didn't see
They
that coming.
didn't.
So they're so happy to play it out in the same way that from within the ranks
The
of the Shiv
next
Sena,
morning,
yeah.
the posters were up, and I was like, "Who is your printer?" Because my guy doesn't give me anything as fast as you are.
Yeah.
You've covered the city. You've covered it
Yeah.
with these two faces. So, like, what's the? I don't know.
And you can't
man.
ask for more distinguished faces as faces go. Let's not get too sparsh.
It's not. Why?
I did, however, read like Shinde's story. Like, obviously,
Yeah,
since he's suddenly
the
come up-
tragedy and all
yeah,
that, yeah.
and I don't know. At some level, you kind of respect the person because you're like,
No, it's called humanizing the situation. You
Yeah.
can do it with
No,
Kasab
and
as well. So be a
Also,
little
they
careful. Yeah.
because he's
Yeah.
now in power, they will build him up, right? They will
Build him up the humane
Yeah, yeah,
factor
yeah.
and the
Yeah,
tragedies
all the
and
cool
all. Not
stories,
to say
you
that
know,
they
from his
aren't
life.
tragic things.
Yeah.
I won't discuss them here. But yeah.
But you
I'm
can
just
do that with
saying,
anyone, is what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Never,
No,
the
that can be done with
backstory is never the point.
It's
Yeah.
not
Flo
the
was a failed
backstory.
artist.
Exactly. You know, I mean,
Yeah, of course, it's not that backstory.
look
I'm
what
saying
we're
it's a
doing to him.
story
Kasab, Hitler.
to-
I mean, the guy is just an Indian politician.
Exactly. I was
He's
like,
not that bad.
Wait,
No,
he's
as
not
far as politicians
yet,
go. Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in terms of selling him also, he's the right person to sell as a Senate
Mhm.
because he has that whole community ground up,
Yeah.
whereas these two have been sitting,
Hmm.
I mean, painting Worldly for the last 3 years. So it's like,
Yeah, well done, Ayushi.
I mean,
Beautifully
enough,
put. Yeah.
man,
Stop
now.
painting Whirly.
You
Get
guys-
on with do something for society.
Honestly.
No more posters and painting. We know you all can do
We
posters
know
and
it's
painting.
done
Yeah.
so
But-
well.
yeah.
Leave that to the civilians.
Really.
Like, we
But do
enjoy
you
that.
guys have any sympathy though for say Uddhav and Aditya Thackeray,
Yeah,
who
are
are
you
now
fucked?
completely
How dare you have any sympathy for
None of
any
them.
of them? Have sympathy
none at
for
all?
us.
Yeah, and
I'm just
also
saying, I know, yes, of course, but
None of them.
It's-
And why would you?
also, if you want to look at it clinically and not get into the emotions of whose side and who did right or wrong, I'm saying
Yeah.
from like a chessboard situation, Uddhav had a chance to rectify the situation.
Yeah.
But you got to figure out, if you're a great politician, you have to figure out when you have to bend with the breeze. And he could have
make
done
them
that.
an
and-
offer they can't refuse. Yeah,
Exactly. He
Like,
had
one
to
of
find
them.
some compromise
stay in
and
the
stay in
government
power.
and then
Absolutely.
figure your way
The moment
out.
you lose power, you
Yeah.
lose.
You're
That's what it's
out
all about.
now. You know
So-
how long it's going to take them to
Yeah.
come back? Then
And-
if
But,
So
I mean,
where
you
Sharad
see the
Pawar
Shiv
is as an
Sena,
astute politician, where Uddhav is as an astute politician, from clinical point of view, I think it is a chalk and cheese at the moment.
yeah,
Because with nothing,
very.
he was able to engineer a government, bring down the BJP, and this guy on the other hand was not able to hold his government, which he could have if he had reined in his emotions and ego and the whole thing. Of course, it's a terrible thing to step down from chief ministership, but I'm just
Of
thinking
course.
he still would be in power.
I honestly, I don't know that that's the case, right? I just feel like a lot of this stuff is inevitable in some ways. There are forces at play that are so.
Yeah, but you got to give it a
invisible.
better fight, as Ayushi said. It looks like the fight wasn't good.
You
the-
don't
the-
even
but-
look like you wanted it then when the way that you said it. And I watched the speech and
Seems
I
to have
don't know.
folded too quickly.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
think
she's
so.
saying
And
also,
I
yeah.
kind of expected that maybe
As
at
cricket
some
lovers, we
level-
were just disappointed. You know, we wanted our two teams to clash.
but
and
he
have a
You
good
want a
one.
But he
chief
didn't have
minister
much say.
who wants
Like,
to be chief
he had
minister.
to.
Yeah.
You
I
do.
want to put it that way. Like
Yeah.
you want this state that bad, and by God, this state is a state to want and have
is.
because
Exactly.
they loot us.
Yeah.
Every project is like
Yeah,
5
yeah.
crores in your pocket.
Yeah.
And we know that.
Metro's going to come soon, 2030 now. They've guaranteed. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. You just kind of. I don't,
No,
you
you're
wanted
right.
more
Yeah.
from
He
them.
should have put up more of a fight. There's no
And
question
you're a
about that.
Shiv
Can't-
Sainik. You
and
guys
it's-
love riots. Like
Yeah.
it's your
Yeah.
thing.
No, but actually, if you look at it from a psychiatric evaluation
I want
point
this
of
for
view,
you.
no, I just think that he folded because of emotions, which means
Yeah.
you're weak. You can't be too emotional. You know, in this
no. I
situation.
think he folded because he knew that he wasn't gonna pass the floor test.
Yeah.
Finally, he
Yeah,
had
but
to.
still,
Finally, he had to.
I think
But even
also-
before that, he didn't make the right noise or do the right.
Okay,
in
yes.
the back
Slow
channels, more
down
work
with
should have
your
been
He
shit.
should have
done.
gone on the
Go
offensive
down
much
with
sooner.
your shit.
Yeah.
But see, it's all performative at the end of the day, right? What you're saying, also go down with your ship or make a bigger fight or what have you, right? The reason why this stuff happened, once Eknath Shinde decided that this is going to happen and he got the right people and he had the invisible backing
No,
behind
but Amit,
him
you
of
can always
getting the
lure
right
out of
people.
40 buggers. You can lure 16 back, and all. It's not over. There are many other options
Well,
there. You
it-
can lure
Yeah,
BJP guys onto
probably.
your side. Oh, there's got to be
No,
more.
no.
Okay.
They have a
It's
blood
sounding
oath.
ridiculous, but I'm saying there must be some way.
I would
The
also say
attitude
this,
wasn't.
right? That at
He
some
wasn't
point,
aggressive enough in the fight back. He seemed to be feeling pain and hurt, like my family has been insulted and this and that. He was going to the wrong
Yeah.
space.
I feel like
Win
that
or
was
lose.
also performative. That that, oh, how dare you
No,
go
I think it was
against Bala
genuinely.
Sahib's
And
No,
I know
they're
I
brought up to be
all
like.
but I think it was the
They're-
same problem that the what Congress keeps harping on, which is, and the reason
Yeah,
they're
the
losing
family.
ground is the family. And
Absolutely.
I think people are not realizing that no matter what the current government does, oh, God forbid, like people are
Or
very
doesn't do.
or doesn't
It's a
do.
case of doesn't do in India more
Yeah,
than anything else.
yeah.
Yes.
People are very disillusioned by dynastic politics because we've been now fed this message
Yeah.
for the last 8 years that it is the reason for everything wrong. Whether that's true or not, I'm not
But
getting
I'm
into
saying
that. But
this
I'm
from the
saying
from the
you
last.
don't play that harp here. It's not going
But
to
actually, I've
work.
been saying this for the
I
last
know.
week. By default, he's almost in the right because he's
Yes.
standing up against the nepotism and all
But-
this, So by default,
Yes.
we should be saying, "Wow, we've got a Caesar, we've got a great leader now."
Which is the insane part is that like when you start looking at everything, kind of you are able to rationalize after a point in
Yeah.
politics. You're like, actually, but he also did this. So then
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
also can
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
but
true.
it's all rationalizable because they
But
are
how-
all
We're under their thumb, so we have to rationalize that to feel better about
Yeah,
ourselves,
yeah,
and we've
yeah.
accepted them because they aren't that bad. Yeah.
But you have to see. I don't know how active you guys are on Twitter. You're not, I know. But the rhetoric generally when you're just scrolling through was just absolute joy. Absolute. Now we take back Bala Sahib's party. Now
Yeah.
we take back Vanar Sena's party.
It's because those people are more active.
No,
It's,
But there's no
it's
doubt.
only because those people are more active, I think.
Yeah. But they're
Yeah.
like very much a thing of, yes,
But
this
see-
is us reclaiming our whatever.
It's a tough one
sense of
because
self.
he doesn't have the charisma of his father, whether
He
you like it or
doesn't.
not.
He doesn't.
Okay, he seems to be a nice guy in some way and all that, and he seems,
It's
in the
unfortunate.
pandemic, he seemed to be,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
conservative, but heart was in the right place, more or
Yeah,
less.
honestly
But-
effective because during the pandemic,
He was
communication was the
calm and
number one thing that
yeah,
needed to
yeah,
happen.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he was
He
one of
was-
the few people who was doing it well.
Yeah.
And he
regularly.
allowed smart people to make the decisions. He wasn't like, I'm going to do everything.
Like Shinde.
But he allowed the government to open up and be like, okay, the BMC needs to be run by this person because they know
Yeah,
best.
he was
and-
inclusive. He
he
appeared to
was-
be inclusive.
Yeah.
You had the BMC guys, his name, they changed the guy, the new guy comes in.
And look, I'm sure everyone made some cut out every single
Of
jumbo
course.
center that was
Ayushi,
made.
come on, this is
I mean,
India, for
it's
God's
whatever.
sake.
Yeah, no
Oh,
one's clean, but
my-
he was, he was decent.
Medical supplies had to
He
pay
was
for coming
decent.
in. Come on. I don't care if you're dying, 10% commission. That's the rule. Yeah.
Cough it up.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm going to hell. I'm actually going to hell.
Alright.
Let's go from Maharashtra government to talk about the
Silvery,
national
just
government.
excuse yourself,
Yes.
and if you don't mind, go offline because now we have another
Okay.
comedian. We don't need extras.
Okay, cool. No worries. So, talking about the central government, Twitter is finally standing up for itself. So, we know for the last few years, the central government has been sending Twitter notices about putting down accounts which they feel are critical of the government. So, like people who've been talking about the Shaheen Bagh thing first, then the farmers' protest, then all these other things that have come about, like the Nupur Sharma thing, then how the COVID response has been. Now Twitter finally is standing up for itself, where it is appealing these court orders because like it just got a new set of orders by the government to take down all these accounts. So Twitter's not standing up saying, "Ke, no, this
Yeah, but
is
you
against
know,
our rights
it's-
as a company,
what
and
you're
we don't
saying
need
again,
to appeal
it makes a lot of sense because at the end of the day, if someone's bullying you, you don't stand
Yeah.
up to the bully. That's just not going to change. So they must have tried to appease, find compromise, and then realize that this is not fair. We open our mouth and this, I mean, at some point you got to say, "Boss, come on." It's so one-sided. But when you say standing up, what are they doing? As in,
They are basically they're in court. They're challenging it in court. They're challenging
Oh,
those
they
orders
want-
in
they
court.
want
The
to court.
legality of those
Asking
orders.
for judicial review on tweets which
Yeah.
are being asked to be pulled down.
oh,
And
more work for our judges.
exactly. So I mean, it's a
Per tweet.
it's a
They've
it-
not worked so much as they
Can you
have in the
imagine?
last 5 years. They
I mean, he
just
goes
haven't.
home.
Nobody
Justice
has been
Sharma goes
working.
home and he has to get onto his phone because he review the tweets. There's no end.
No, but what's interesting here is that the review that's occurring is occurring for tweets which are being asked to be pulled down, and but so many things are being pulled down just generally. And
But we discussed this also, Amit. What do you mean by pull down?
Oh.
Because when you go to one side's offense, then you go to the other side's offense
That's-
immediately,
It's
and there's
exactly
nothing left.
that's part of Twitter's appeal.
That is part
They're
of the
saying,
appeal.
yeah.
We can only make
Yeah.
fun of Abbas. That's all. That's nothing else left.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean anything more than
I
that.
think he meant
I
exactly what you
I
said.
meant Abbas because
Why
he's
did you
not
have to
here.
say that?
I was
Because he's
going
not
to say, on
represented.
which
Yeah.
level would you like to make fun
Yeah,
of
okay,
Abbas?
okay. You guys are disgusting. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Abbas knows that if he goes, I go. We're in the same boat. Yeah.
No, but what is to be? How is this to be like this, right? I mean, like the fact that a Supreme Court judicial review is required on what tweet should be banned or not banned. This is not something that can happen over and over
It's
again, right? You
ridiculous.
can't take every
Uh,
tweet to the Supreme Court. There
I
has
mean,
to be a body
for
which
and
makes
against
sense,
Kangana alone
basically.
will be. We'll need a separate
Like,
court
you
system.
need a bench. You
Yeah,
have to put up a
exactly.
new
It'll be like,
bench.
this is the court of Kangana. We are separate from the appellate system. Just come to us. Oof, ouch.
So-
But at least they've decided to
No,
stand
but,
their
our,
ground.
but the part of the problem is that the way our laws are designed are so nuts, right? I mean, like the fact that
Get
this
buried in the
is-
paperwork and there's no question of any review
the
happening.
process is the punishment.
Hmm.
What about us?
That's nice.
What about the podcast? If somebody takes offense, since we're not very clear where we stand,
Ever.
how do we?
I've been doing a lot of work on this recently.
Yeah.
There is a new rule called the DGCPC,
Wow.
which has come out and under which we fall. And so we now have, I don't know if I should mention this on this podcast, but we have like this tiny little link somewhere on our website, which allows people to send us grievance notices that I have a grievance against your podcast. And then once they send that
Don't tell
grievance
these people.
notice,
Don't
One
tell
second.
these people.
This show's only about grievance. Firstly, my angst about
I was about
the
to
world.
say, this is
Then the
your
people
grievance.
listening always angry and pointing out the incorrect information and things that we say and do. So, I mean, forget taking offense. So we've got it there in really minute detail
it's
for
there,
half a
it's-
second.
It's there.
you
It's
can-
visible
yeah,
somewhere on
yeah.
the website. If
Mutual-
you search for it really,
Mutual funds
really
are subject to
hard.
market risk.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
That's great, super.
So,
As long as we
Amit,
covered our back. Yeah.
Amit, before this, I think surrogate marketing you could do in the podcast industry in India because there were not rules defined against it, right?
Excuse
but
me, what is
now-
surrogate marketing?
Kingfisher.
So, like
water.
when you soda, Kingfisher water, yeah, I
Got it. Thank you.
Mm.
Yeah. So basically, but now I think they've come up with some new guidelines about surrogate marketing. But they're saying is surrogate marketing not allowed, completely not allowed everywhere.
So it's
But how do you know it's surrogate marketing?
No, and it's also
Like,
yeah. So it's
how do you
not
know for
that,
sure? Like if I'm wearing a shirt which says Kingfisher Water, that's just my shirt. You know
I
what
like
mean?
the
How
water.
do you-
Yeah, I like
No,
Kingfisher.
Oh,
so
okay,
it's not that cut and dry either, right? Because again, this
Okay.
the way surrogate there's a very clear definition of what surrogate marketing is over there, but it also on the next line undermines that line by saying that this does not apply to real products.
What?
So,
Oh.
yeah. So I mean,
What?
like if
So we are not a
Bacardi-
real product, so we're off the hook,
No,
guys.
I don't think you're a real product. This is on shaky
We're not even a
ground.
product. Yeah.
It's barely a
Really.
show.
We're safe.
but if Bacardi is selling a CD, right, is that is still a real product. So it doesn't apply to a real product.
Just to be on the safe side, can we
there-
have like a high court bench judge on our podcast or give him
Uh,
one? That way we'll all be okay.
Do you think he wants to come
Do
on
you
the
think-
show?
Why not? Everybody wants to
Also,
communicate.
Do
Their
you
profile.
really want the
That's
answers
true.
to these questions? It all exists in this nice vague space where nobody knows exactly what is
Culpable
what.
deniability.
Exactly.
Hey, come on. I'm saying open the tribe. The tribe should be so inclusive that everybody's there. We have politicians doing
But that would
podcasts.
be cool.
We have police officers. We have BMC officials.
You should
we
get a
have bureau-
judge
Yeah, we should have a judge. We should have a general.
and just ask
We should have
all
a
our
we should have a
questions.
Pakistani. Everybody should be here. Yeah,
What can we
Absolutely,
do?
yes.
What can't we?
yeah. We're just an open platform where just basically that's what which we are actually supposed to be somewhat. Yeah,
Open source.
yeah.
We're not open source. We're available everywhere. Don't- not
Available
open source.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Open source, non-payable
Yeah,
information.
It is copyrighted. It's not open
Yeah,
source.
it's
Yes.
copyrighted.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, Silvery, that
Right.
was a fantastic
Yes.
topic. Thanks. I can't remember what it was, but surely there's another one.
Sure, next one.
I'm
yes.
so impressed. I don't even want to say how well we're doing today. This is amazing.
All right. Up next, is a story from Bangalore where a person.
He always
a
sets
job,
the stories with the
With the
geography.
location.
Yeah.
Without
Yeah.
geography,
Yeah.
it's like
Goes-
Silvery's
goes
mind is
out on
all
there. Yeah,
about
So now
kahan
we
se,
know, you know,
kahan
he's
se.
taken us to Karnataka.
Yeah,
He's like,
this
now,
is-
now
yeah.
we go
And,
south.
and
Yes.
Ayushi, once he
Yes.
starts
Speak Bangalore.
not understanding the words, like some village hamlet somewhere in Madhya Pradesh, then you know because he's going like Gazia, Gazar, Gazuri. And for 15 minutes is the geography. Come on,
All right.
Silvery.
So,
Somewhere in
yes, yes.
Bengaluru.
A Bangalore man has basically figured out a cool way to hand in his resumes to startups in and around Bangalore.
Oh,
Basically,
yeah.
what he's done is
Yeah.
dressed up as a Zomato delivery guy, and he's shown up with a box of pastries with his resume inside the box of pastries. There are pastries also,
Okay.
but his basic thing is that most of the resumes end up in trash, but mine will end up in your belly. Okay. And so people have been impressed, and people have been saying, oh, this is like a cool way to go about this. And
He's got
Zomato themselves.
he's got the notice. You know the notice happens. People
got
know who
the
you are.
attention,
But I
yeah.
wouldn't hire a
Yeah.
guy just
I-
because he was interesting enough to give me cake. I mean,
Yeah.
are you
Depends
gonna
on what role it is, right?
give him a
If he's if
six-figure
he's a
salary?
marketing guy, I think I might hire him because that's a good marketing
That's a
idea.
good. He
Yeah,
has
no.
ideas.
Yeah, but I
He's
don't.
But
know
if
the
you
that-
look
job
at the
of a-
resume and he's been sacked from 3 MNCs in the last 6 months,
that's a whole different.
you got to figure. Yeah.
He's looking for the job of a
Hmm.
management trainee. That's what he wants.
Oh, that he should get.
Oh, that he should
So
get.
that he's overqualified.
Well
He's
done.
He
too
could,
good.
yeah, he
Yeah.
didn't have to do this. He could have just
He
had
could-
a resume regular style.
He could be the number 2 to Amit in IVM today. Let's be honest. Today. Tell him just one pastry and walk in. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Zomato also had a response to this. They basically found out that this person was doing this, and
they sent him something.
sorry, let me just. Yeah, this
Take your
page is not
time.
opening. Okay, yeah.
Don't
Sorry,
open the
the-
page.
So you
It
didn't
was
read
open
the
and then crashed.
article before.
No, he just
No, I
remembers the
did.
cities.
I
Ayushi
did.
remembers the
It's
city
just
is
the-
clear. After that,
the
it's
Can
app
you
crashed.
stop?
My browser app
Gone.
crashed.
yeah. You don't
okay,
turn
fuck
up.
it. I'll just.
You pretend to be sick, and now your browser crashes in the middle of the. If you didn't start it, it
Yeah.
would be fine. But in the
There
middle
are like-
of it, for God's
there are
sake.
20
So
tabs
was
open.
Zomato okay with it, or they were
Abbas,
pissed off?
Abbas,
Not okay with
Abbas has started sledging.
Basically okay with it.
A man in Bangalore, and so he went there and Silvery.
Hey, by the way, Sylvie,
Yeah,
what's the
Zomato
thing
said-
about? Okay.
So
finish.
Zomato said,
No, you
Hey, Aman,
finish. Give him
hope
more
you're-
time.
He said, hey Aman, hope your Aman Khandelwal is the man's name. Hey
No,
Aman, hope your
enough.
gig landed. Listen, no. Hope your gig landed you something meaningful. The idea was great. Execution, top of the line. Impersonation, not so cool. Saying don't impersonate our drivers. This is what Zomato said.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
wow! Like
Yeah,
now
like,
they're going to take offense.
They're
Cancel
wholly on
culture is
now.
worse.
It's
Zomato
like, yeah.
driver and delivery boy offended.
They're canceling their own delivery person.
Yeah.
What does it take to impersonate a Zomato delivery driver? Like a T-shirt?
Yeah.
That's it, right?
That's
No,
it.
but he thinks this is like a war against India's founding fathers or something. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
how can you do this? Zomato's name has been spoiled because delivery boy has been impersonated. For God's sake, this guy should be fined. This is the head of Zomato.
Zomato doesn't want its merch to sell. It's like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
no,
literally.
Yeah.
If anything,
Like,
Zomato
the
should have made
opposite
this
of
a
us.
PR like miracle by
Yeah.
hiring the guy.
Yeah.
I think you know the problem. They're overemployed in terms of delivery boys, so they don't want an extra one. That's kind of
No, no,
We
but
can't take
balance
it.
sheet ki baat
We
hai.
can't take it.
Yeah.
Delivery
One
boys
more
are
and
not
they
employees,
unionize.
they are contractors.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh, are they?
finally
That's what
put.
that's
So
what
no
they put it
liability.
now.
No liability
no
to the proprietor.
liability.
Remember, you
Correct.
guys know better than this.
We don't do contract because you can't. Then you have no way of
MTV
taking.
was bizarre. I
the
couldn't
risk
understand
is
the
too
maths
high.
because back in the day in MTV, they suddenly did the new thing. 40 employees or 50 employees was the number allowed by the MNC,
Hmm.
but then we had about 150 freelance. Would it make more sense to have 70 employees doing all that work and permanently employed than having
Yeah.
150 in terms of maths? If you look at the balance
No,
sheet,
yeah, exactly.
but they wouldn't. That's the way.
There are reasons to have contractors or employees. You don't have to pay PF. You don't have to
Yeah,
do.
but how much is it at the end of the day?
It becomes quite a bit, man. All these obligations for an employee become high, which is not there. Also,
which-
hiring and firing becomes different for employees versus contractors.
A short-term
right? So,
contract, there's no
Yeah.
hiring or firing. It ends.
you-
But what about Silvery? What is he?
he's
Fired.
an employee.
Employee.
By the way, our studio is breaking down in laughter every time Ayushi does a Silvery joke. So I can tell you, you're super popular.
Sometimes he comes so easy, and I don't even know why. I have nothing against him.
If there's no
Just,
malice,
yeah,
keep
it's my
going.
face.
Yeah,
It's my face.
No,
Yeah.
but I did want to ask you something about the comic thing. I don't know whether this is of interest to anyone else. What is this Samay Rena?
I don't know.
something? What is this?
I've seen it 3 times in the chat.
Samay
I don't
Rena.
know what it is.
Yeah, everyone
Samay
keeps-
means time, Rena means stay.
Samay Rena,
so stay
what?
in time.
So
I don't know.
Samay
So
Ramana made
no,
some
if you don't know it,
abortion
don't
joke or something
don't
like
Google
that.
it now. If you don't know it, don't Google it. Forget it then. Forget it. Next
I mean,
topic. Next
One
topic.
second, you're the king of comedy and you don't know that some guy called what? Samay
He's
Rena.
a fairly
I know Samay Rena, but I don't know
Yeah,
what-
well-known
Samay Rana is very
Yeah,
comic.
it's just, yeah.
I don't know. It was trending on Twitter, being like he went on some rant. I don't know. I really don't know.
He went
I
on a
wanted-
rant.
I
I'm
wanted
not
the
aware.
gossip from
Okay, we
you.
have a guy who knows all about it. His name is Sparsh. Can we introduce him into the show?
First, do you know
Yeah,
what
here.
this is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, he made some. He made a tweet about basically abortion and something like that. A
Okay.
joke about it, and now it has gone like way beyond
Oh,
control.
he's
People
getting-
are like completely trolling him. He's like ranking on Twitter right now at 13 probably.
Okay.
That's the thing. And it's mainly because of all the retweets that has happened on his tweet,
Sure.
and many people are like abusing him and all that stuff. And now he's also having fun with it. He's posting Instagram stories of all the retweets and all that
Okay.
stuff. So that's the thing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Was it a
that's-
funny joke
yeah,
though?
But so end result
Very
is what?
possibly so.
Is
Like,
he going to get
Sama is
shot
very
or
funny.
not? I mean, if he's going to get
Yeah.
shot, we talk about it. If he's not going to get shot, what's the point? Nothing
Yeah,
happens.
I
I
just
don't-
want to know if it's an abortion joke. Is it at least is it funny?
I don't know. I'm trying to
It-
see if I can find
So,
it.
in fairness to Samay, it could
We
very
have
be
to
funny.
stop the
It's
show to
very
find the
funny.
abortion joke. If anybody on the feed knows the joke and just sends it to us, or if this guy Samay
Okay.
Raina,
So, this is the joke. परसों मैं आधा घंटा सोच के मेरी गर्लफ्रेंड पे एक फनी ट्वीट लिखा था, उसको पसंद नहीं आया तो उसने डिलीट करवा दिया। कल को जब भी मैं अबॉर्शन करवाने बोलूं तब मत बोलना my body my choice.
I don't get it.
I don't get it
Okay.
either.
Okay,
Means I genuinely don't get it as a joke.
it's fun.
I'm not offended. I
No,
promise.
yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's also because he's spoken Hindi, so Ayushi you
I
lost
know
interest.
it's not.
But
I'm not his target.
the third line, Ayushi was
Damn
like,
it.
"Damn it, French
Can
is
we
okay,
Google
but what is
translate the
this?
tweet,
What's
please?
going on?"
I don't think the joke particularly lands in that sense, but I
Yeah.
think that
Hmm.
basically the fact that he made a joke about
Yeah, he
abortion
belittled
and
abortion.
He just
Yeah.
mentioned
this is
abortion.
what
Okay.
people are freaking out about.
Yeah, all right.
Why people are getting freaked
People
out?
freak out over all kinds of things.
As if him saying Jack
Hey,
is going to
hello,
offend with the
Ayushi, this is not an India problem anymore. So let's not just. This is
So,
not
but then
desi
this has to
issue.
be.
It's a
No,
world
this is a
issue.
world
Leftist.
issue.
Where every
Yeah.
little
There's
thing, I'm
left-wing
not saying
people
abortion
who
is a
are
little thing, but every little
against
thing in the world, people are going to just,
Of
you know, I mean,
course.
I just, why are we even talking about this?
This is
Huh.
the English language version. He made
Oh,
made
God.
a single joke. My
See, that's
girlfriend-
for us.
I know.
So what happened is he got so
My
much shit.
girlfriend-
He said, "Let me do it in English."
My girlfriend made me delete my funny tweet, so I guess I can now make her delete her fetus. It's a dumb joke. It's not a very.
That's not
intelligent-
even
Oh.
funny,
It's not
dude.
very funny either.
Yeah,
But it's a joke about a subject which is such which
it's
think-
not.
I get
it's
more
not,
offended
it's not that, it's not that
he
it's
thought
funny,
that was funny.
but it's because it has the chance of being offensive. It's now become a little famous.
Yeah.
So let's cancel him as a comedian and put him up as a documentary maker who's made a point. All right.
yeah,
So we've changed his status. His Facebook status is now documentary filmmaker.
he's a social commentator.
Social
actually,
commentator.
you know?
Yeah, very good,
That's
very
how
good.
it
Yeah, yeah,
works.
yeah,
And he
true,
has
true.
a niche take
chess player.
Yeah.
on a social issue
Yeah, yeah.
about women and their
And
autonomy.
next
Frankly
week-
speaking, he
Yeah,
should be
no,
given a bigger
a
platform.
podium. But next week he's doing transgender, so stay tuned. I'm just asking.
No, Cyrus.
No,
Spurs
let's
is
not.
very worried. He's very close.
There
to-
was like no reason to go there, but Cyrus
Yeah.
still went.
I don't know. I mean, just
I made a
I've-
mistake by
on
even
YouTube-
asking this topic. It's just
Yeah.
it keeps coming up here, and then on Twitter.
I've
it
been
was,
watching this whole
okay.
feed about these guys who have, Ben Shapiro and gang taking on this whole
Hmm.
thing about there are only two genders, and I don't want to. Amit hates Ben Shapiro, so I don't want to get into that battle.
No, I don't
Actually,
care
the thing
about
is,
Ben Shapiro
sometimes
one
Ben
bit.
Shapiro, if he wanted to represent the right, sometimes the unfortunate thing is that he does it so stupidly.
Mm.
Like, if you were smarter, somehow people would, I don't know, not listen to you or give you credit, but sometimes he says such dumb shit.
Okay,
like,
so Ayushi, here's the point.
unintelligent.
Here's the
Because-
basis of many comedians. I won't call them right wing at all, but this is on this issue. The whole point is that you are what you are at birth. At birth, what were you? So at
Dude,
birth, you're
that-
male or
this is
female.
not-
So they go with
Oh,
that.
Cyrus,
Cyrus,
let it go.
So they
I'm
go with
out
that
of
as a
my depth.
biological. I'm
Cyrus,
not taking anyone's side. I'm
let
telling
it
you what
go,
they're
dude.
saying.
This is not there's no point to this discussion.
We
Yeah.
don't know.
So their basis is that, and then from there they take it further and say, okay, so that's what were you when you were born? That's the whole argument throughout.
Well, then,
Yeah.
so wow, if
So they're not saying we're against choice. You can choose to be whatever, but you were born a male or female. That's the point.
shall we lean into the
It's a
controversy?
gender
then?
versus
No,
sex
let's-
thing.
let's-
There's no
yeah.
real answer here. There's no right.
I
or
blame that
wrong.
Samay Khurana. It's all his fault.
Which one is
Oh,
he?
Raina.
the guy-
Raina, Samay Raina.
Raina. Samay Raina,
Khurana.
whatever his name is. Yeah.
I was
Samay
like,
Khurana.
Alright.
There's another one?
Is dhande mein
knows?
bada purana. Yes.
Obviously, no abortion happened there because we got two now. Okay.
Okay, let's go into a break.
Do we learn nothing from art?
You know nothing, Cyrus. Every week.
Okay, we apologize.
All right, let's-
Amit says this won't happen again. What are we doing now, bro?
Let's go into a
It's
break
10,
and then we'll come back.
33. We wasted
Yeah.
time discussing people's tweets and all for 40 minutes. What's going on? This show is really plunging as far as necklines go. We'll come
So
back.
normal.
In a
So it's
second.
normal. It's a normal.
We ask you
episode.
only one thing, guys. Were you born male
Oh,
or
please.
female? No, I'm just kidding. I'm
I'm leaving the show.
Amit's 3 hairs
Yes.
are standing. I'm getting very worried.
Yes.
Taking a break. Here it is. Here
Oh,
it is.
this is
Hello, everyone. It's been another great week on the IVM Podcasts Network. On Think Fast, Suchita and Amit Doshi discuss India's creator economy and the Zomato Blinkit merger. On Cyrus Says Ish, Cock and Bull, Cyrus, Ayushi, Shriram, Antariksh and Abbas discuss the arrest of journalist Mohammad Zubair. On All Things Policy, the Takshashila folk decode Bihar's unemployment crisis. On Pulyabazi, Pranay and Saurabh analyze what makes social media powerful. And on Marathi Khidkitun, the Deshmukhs list poems and songs inspired by Twilight. We've got some exciting news for you. IVM Podcast has just launched its merch, and our first line is out now. Head to the IVM Podcast's website and click on the Shop tab to check out our first collection of t-shirts. Do follow us on social media via IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, do tell a friend. Also, don't forget to rate us on any platforms that you're listening on. And you can also check us out on YouTube. We're also doing a small listener survey to better understand how you respond to our shows and advertising on the network. We would really appreciate if you could spare a few minutes to fill it. It helps us build better shows for you. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week: Capgemini, Intel vPro, and Intel. Future Banao Wonderful with Intel-powered laptops.
Yeah.
I felt so bad.
Welcome
I
back,
was like,
everyone.
I'll just be quiet now.
I needed. Sorry, we're discussing my holiday offline, and in case you heard
That's fine.
anything, I apologize.
So we have a little announcement, a very interesting announcement for
You're
this Friday's
leaving?
episode.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
This is my last. This coming Friday, we have
Huh.
the author Ruskin Bond coming on. Cyrus says, so
Oh.
that'll be a very cool, very awesome episode.
Huh.
You did not know?
No, I know,
You know-
but my
you know
worry
he's
is that
coming,
Ruskin, and I hope he's not listening, has not 3 or 4 times has fallen through for various
It
reasons.
has been.
Ill health, Wi-Fi issues, squirrel on a tree, those kind of things. So I was just saying,
Yeah.
until we nail the episode or
That is
get
true.
close to nailing it, we shouldn't. But we're hoping
we-
it'll happen.
Yeah, we are making the announcement so that people can send in their AMA questions
And to put
via
pressure on
mail
Ruskin to make
or
sure we
via
do the episode.
Insta. Yes. Like अब तो आना ही पड़ेगा भाई.
Uh-huh.
So yes, please send us your email questions via to the IVM
And I
podcast
promise you, I'm going to
or-
ask him. I hope he does
on-
it to say the iconic line he's famous for. My name is Bond, Ruskin Bond.
Ruskin Bond.
Just gotta say that once.
I'm sure he won't
Of course,
be offended
he-
by that at
Of
all.
course.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
he'll
yeah.
say it.
I'm
Let's
sure he
just all-
said it.
Let's all
Or
try
people
it
have said
like
it to him. You know?
Sean Connery meets Javed Akhtar. My name is
Yeah.
Bond. Ruskin
Right.
Bond.
I wonder how many people actually like read Ruskin Bond outside, like the kids
Hey!
who went to like Christian schools.
I would say, I don't know about this generation, but the Ruskin Bond started school and college across the urban
Yeah.
plateau.
But I'm saying, I think it was very much because our school library just had so many of them
Yeah.
that you were like, I guess I'll read this, and then you
No,
got
they all
into the
follow some of the
mountains.
same syllabus. Now, so many of these
Yeah,
reads are the
okay.
same across India in the English-speaking
No, but
syllabus.
so they were not
thingy.
compulsory for me, at least. I had one Ruskin Bond short story and
That's
one
enough.
poem.
Yeah,
you
but
had
that
one.
got
That's
you
enough.
into it, and then next thing you know, you were.
Yeah,
you
I read
know,
about. I've not read him that deeply. I've read.
Oh.
maybe
You
books.
don't have to.
You should. You can revisit our colonial
know.
roots.
Ruskin,
and,
please
you
still
know,
come on.
empathize
He will
with
start
white
reading
man.
now.
That's great.
What are you saying? I'm trying to get the guy to come on the show, and you guys are saying, I didn't really read him. I was too busy.
No, not that too busy. It's just it wasn't. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay,
why.
be careful, Amit. Now, I screwed up with the abortion thing
Yeah.
before. Post this, we want Bond on. We
No,
need
we
Bond.
absolutely do. I'm also
Yeah.
trying to do other things. too, but-
MI5 is trying their best to make sure that Bond attends.
When are you having Sunny Kaushal on?
Oh, he was very sweet, by the
You
way.
finished?
We
were
No,
supposed
no.
to be-
We were
it's
going to
done.
record with him. Can I just tell the
Yeah,
truth?
sure.
And unfortunately, he got caught in traffic. And you know me and time. So,
And it's Bombay.
but he was
so
really
can't do
nice.
that,
He
you
said,
know.
I really want to do this.
Yeah.
You know, and he said the beautiful things that they say to me. I grew up watching you and, you know, uncle.
He called you
So
uncle.
we spoke for 5 minutes on the phone. He was very nice because the managers are always scared. They don't even ask these guys. So I kept saying, if he's running late, just tell him he'll do it another day.
No.
So from 11:30, I'm telling the guy. And finally at
Ah.
12:10, that lady, there was two managers, a
Huh.
man and a woman, because they're two genders, as far as I know. And,
Shut up.
Why?
no,
Why?
there are many.
Why?
Why?
You see, it's called prickophobia. Once you're born a prick, you can't stop yourself. That's when
We have that then. We have the phobia.
somebody told me, don't ask Sunny about the brother's wedding. I won't take names.
Vicky.
I was thinking, Vicky, to Katrina, and I was thinking, why did you tell me that?
Now
Because
you
now
will.
Yeah,
it
now
just
to.
festers, doesn't it? Sylvie? Doesn't it
Yeah,
fester when
exactly.
they do
Yes,
that?
correct.
You're
Yeah.
entering a meeting and somebody says,
Because
don't
you
mention.
probably wouldn't have asked him anyway, and now
Yeah.
you're like, damn it, like why can't I ask? Because
No, it's
it's an
like
interesting
Naren
topic, I
Hero,
guess it turns
double
out.
MBA, Naren Hero of MTV in the glory days. We went for a Pepsi meeting for a huge 12 shows across North India thingy with them. And he told us, because four of us went in, and he said, whatever you do, just don't mention Coke. That's the only law.
Okay.
And I thought it was really funny. And then the guy says, Kuch loge? And he says, I'll have a Coke. Just by mistake. This is double MBA, head of marketing. And me and two other guys with
lost it.
the.
I'm impressed that
Yeah,
you
yes.
still wear the T-shirt.
I still I'm a Pepsi loyalist.
Yeah.
They paid me a
Yeah.
lot of money for 3 years till they sacked
my
me and
God.
went with Amitabh Bachchan, some
Ha-
unknown actor.
Coke or nothing.
Yeah.
Pepsi, no thanks.
Really?
Yeah.
Pepsi, bro.
No, man.
Firstly, in India, it just sounds better. If you go to North India, everybody says Pepsi, and you just feel more comfortable.
I don't know.
We've given it our flavor. Huh.
But I would
No,
agree.
like
Coke
the
over Thumbs Up and Pepsi.
Hey,
I
guys,
would
stop
also
all
agree.
that.
No, thumbs up over everything.
I'm
No,
all
no,
pro.
Coke over
I-
both, I would say.
If I
Then
was
Campo Cola.
having the
Real?
non-diet one, if I was having the sugar one, I would agree with Ayushi. Thumbs up over everything.
Yeah, thumbs up.
I-
over
I might
everything.
agree with you also, but that's because we were raised on thumbs up. So I don't know.
Mm.
Sometimes when you're raised on
And
things,
ice, something with that fizz is so strong that it goes
Yeah.
straight to your nose.
gotta
It's
do
kind of
Nose,
like
yes.
mustard at
and
some
and the
level.
burps used to
And the
start.
burps, literally,
Yeah.
you're just it just
Santosh Sagar crushed ice with the thumbs
Oh,
up.
lovely.
That used to
Such
remind
And the
a
me.
crush ice of
money.
Santosh Sagar, unlike the Burger Kings and McDonald's abroad,
What is that?
no, it
It
works.
is.
The way
Yes.
they make it, it still tastes like cola. But if you drink a Burger King cola, or whatever, after 1 minute, it's just
diluted.
ice. It's
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
water.
the ice
Yeah.
just melts very fast. This one
I think-
doesn't. I don't know
I think
why.
they are the cheats, not Indians. We used to think Indians
Never.
are the cheats. We are not the cheats, Sparsh. We are great people, great human beings, and many different.
But so
Sexist.
you haven't
Huh.
done the episode with Sunny Kaushal yet.
No. Rather,
No.
he didn't. He couldn't make. Actually, he said the thing
Sad.
is showing 7 minutes away, but I've been here for 7 minutes.
No.
And then when I got out, by the way, guys, where we are, SV Road is right outside the gate, and it was like a pond.
It
In
was.
3 hours of rain, I got out and I just looked down. I was like, "What
I was
happened?"
surprised you were in the studio today. I thought you wouldn't come in.
I've been petrified. Ask Amit. You guys don't know this, but we've had 2 disaster Tuesdays back in the day in the old Agnello
Hmm.
house, where he and me. I took 4 hours to go back once. He'll remember this.
remember
So I
Oh,
believe you
God.
because I've been taking an hour
No.
and a half every single
Yeah,
day now to
same
go
here.
home.
What time do you leave?
Yeah.
I leave around between
Do a
6:30 and 7:15
That's
is
about
when
when I
leave.
leave. So now
And
I
it just
started
takes
leaving
ages.
either before 6 or after 8.
I know.
Notice
I'd
how
rather not
neither
go
offered to say
home
drive with me. Huh?
and
Immediately. Just Silver just telling you as an aside.
Okay.
Too complicated to manage.
More importantly,
If I wanted to do
backing the
carpools, I'd
car
do other
off,
things.
reversing the car quickly is Amit Doshi. But in the meantime, Spot has a solution.
Huh.
He just sleeps here. He doesn't
oh,
go
you
home.
live here.
He lives here.
Yes.
He lives in Goregaon.
Does that-
But Goregaon is so far away, Ayushi. How will he go home in the night? No? Poor young boy.
Why are you
Chikna
working
boy
him
like
so
him,
hard
you
that
get
they can't
molested.
go home
I
at a
hope
normal
I'm not
time?
working him so hard.
Yeah. So he's working on some big project.
He was working on a big project, which we just announced. We put the promo out for it yesterday. We
Really?
did
Hey, what is this thing? This
What is
wall
this?
thing I saw. I
We're
couldn't
doing
click on it.
a new show with Danish Seth. He was
Oh,
on our show. a while
Right,
ago,
right.
Oh.
Yeah.
with called Do What Floats Your Boat. So we're partnering with Boat to do that show. So it
Okay.
should be
He
coming out
was
sometime at the
funny
end of the month.
during COVID. I think
He was.
he made a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of us
very
laugh.
funny.
That was
Danish
funny.
has also done some Kannada films which are funny, apparently.
He's done a lot of
We-
stuff. He did. He also did your podcast a few years ago.
He did.
Yes.
Both of them did. The brother sister duo.
I don't remember who was the original guest. One of them was supposed to be the guest, and the
They
other one
both
just
came
jumped
on.
in.
Kubra's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
doing very well.
Or maybe
for
Kubra was the
now.
original guest.
Don't remember.
I can't remember. Yeah, okay.
They're both
All right.
funny.
So Sparsh is on that. So he spends the night here for
He's
that.
been working on the video
Wow.
edits for some.
So
of
here's
that
the
stuff.
difference. For that show, he spends the night, works really hard. For our show, he comes at 10:04. So it's like, you
You
know,
also came late today.
he came late from the
That's fine.
bathroom because he lives here. just the next door.
Brushing his teeth and all, it took some time.
So do you have any
So
other
should we do one more
topics?
topic?
No.
Yes, let's do one more
No,
topic.
done.
No.
Let's do one
Abbas
more,
is-
and then
Abbas,
go into
Abbas
AMA.
is sending the topics in.
Townie problems.
Yeah.
No, Abbas is also-
Townie problems. Sending the topics in. Okay.
Oh, wow, yeah.
This
Abbas
one.
is,
I didn't
Abbas is a
realize, yeah.
politician. One house in Bhiwandi, one house in Baikala, one
Yeah.
house in Bandra. So he can choose what he wants to be depending.
That's very
I
good.
just
You know, you're
realized
the
this
true
is-
secular guy.
Yeah. He just switches. Just I'll go with this group now. That's
This
it.
is the 1 square kilometer radius podcast.
Podcast.
Right? You,
Which is rare. Which
yeah,
is rare.
Which is rare. Your house is the center. My house is less than a kilometer. Her house is less than a kilometer.
Yeah, 3 of us, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But then after that, we got no friends.
We
Okay?
have no- literally.
Sparsh is in Goregaon.
Literally.
Rishi, how far are you?
Yeah.
Panvel. You come from Panvel
What?
every day? Every day? Why don't you sleep here? What are you bloody Goregaon? It's a hop and skip away. What's going on?
My
Silvery,
God, we've
the
alienated.
Goregaon kid is sleeping here. The
What
Panvel
sense?
boy goes every day and comes on time.
And you two don't come
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the office only.
But
Vinay stays in Dombivli. Vinay stays 2 hours away, and
yeah,
he will
but
still
nobody
come
cares
and-
about Vinay, no?
Vinay's gone now.
As he's gone.
He's just
No, he's not
last,
gone.
last.
No.
I think
He's
last few
gone
days,
tomorrow.
I
He's
think-
not gone.
Yeah,
He's supposed to
still
be
got
here.
a few days left.
Because
Friday.
see, he keeps saying he's
Yeah.
leaving, and then he keeps sending those topics. So I get very confused who's working what.
yeah,
I sent my invoice to Sparsh.
that's fine. That's fine. The handover has been done of the show, but Vinay is still at the company for the last couple of.
But
last couple of
Spurs and
days.
Vinay so sincere and hardworking. And then before that, look at what we had. Silvery and Abbas. This huge chalk and cheese
It was
situation.
literally the who's who of what's happening.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
in the two-
I mean, two producers who don't turn up, don't know whether the show's on.
and they're
don't-
somehow
don't really-
fighting with each other
all the time.
in all of this.
And-
It's their show.
And Abbas has become Don Juan on the show with chicks go falling over left, right, and center for him, which
My
makes no
God.
sense. Taking comedy to another level.
Yes, sure.
I
Alright.
really have not been visiting the show enough because I don't know any of this stuff.
Silvery is
yeah,
the Rip
we
Van
can't
Winkle
even-
of Powai. He's just going to be there for 40 years or something, and then one
Yeah,
day
yeah.
he'll wake up.
Why leave? Why leave?
Yeah.
Self-contained power. is just-
Rip
Let's do one more topic.
Rip
Let's do one more.
Van Winkle.
Yeah.
I'm confusing him with Rumpelstiltskin. No,
No.
that's
Rip Van Winkle's
he's
guy
the
goes
one
into
who doesn't
like a
age,
coma,
right?
and yeah,
he
then
doesn't. He's the
no,
non.
he's,
He
so
doesn't
he's,
age.
he's
He
asleep for
goes-
20 years or whatever.
Right, and then he wakes up.
And then he wakes up and he's back.
Okay,
Basically,
Alex-
he loses time.
I'll explain.
He
I'll
loses
explain.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like what happened to Uddhav Thackeray on the
Rumpelstiltskin is the
weekend.
guy who lives forever.
Rumpelstiltskin is the guy who steals the princess's child, and then
Yeah.
they
He's
didn't
the bad
guess my
guy.
name,
Yeah,
and then I can
Rip
take
Van
your
Winkle's a
kid.
good guy.
He's a good guy.
But
right, right.
Uddhav Thackeray, same situation. He went to sleep, woke up in the
At
morning, the
wheel,
government's gone.
and the government.
Yeah. You can't be asleep for long.
Snooze,
You
you
know.
lose.
Literally.
Yeah.
See,
All right.
the way we see it, it's fair. We can take shots at whoever,
Yeah.
then depending on how well you
You know,
performed. It's not about right or
Honestly,
wrong.
that I came up with a really good term for myself. I was like, I'm an equal opportunity asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll shit on all ends
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
spectrum.
So you're looking at loss, failure versus success sort of thingy. So if you fail, then we take a shot at you.
It's
It's
about
like that.
how competent you are.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
something like
about
that.
how.
I don't care what
your
color your party
ideology is,
is.
yeah.
Just
But
fix
how do
the
I feel better
fucking
about
road.
myself
Just
if I
be
can't
good,
abuse
yeah.
somebody in the course of the day? It's ridiculous. By the way, I got robbed yesterday. Did I tell you that? Quickly before we do the
What?
topic.
What do you
I was
mean
robbed.
by filmfare?
At 12
You
at
could get the award.
12:44
Or something,
At 12:44, I passed the C-Link and it went green for a second. And then he said, no, you got low on your thing. So we didn't argue because my wife didn't pick up
Low
the phone.
on your thing, Malo?
On the charge, on the what's it
On
called?
the
Tag.
fast tag,
Tag.
fast tag. Okay. huh.
Fast tag.
Yeah.
So by the time Aisha picked up the phone and told me it's 440 bucks and that 42 rupees got minus at 12:44,
You had
we
paid.
had passed. We were on the link proper.
Oh,
Yeah,
so you
so-
paid twice.
I paid 100 bucks or something for
You
the
paid
first one.
170 bucks.
Yeah, whatever for the full rate for that
You have to pay the fine.
punishment
right?
thingy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's 170
Yeah, you have to
bucks.
pay
And
double.
well, Prakash paid, but the point is that we paid that plus the 42 was deducted. So I got
Oh,
robbed. I got robbed by
You
the
can
government.
definitely. I mean, should you wish to, you can
No, I'm going to go to
definitely
the same
go to
booth
that.
at some of the same time and
No,
hope
no,
I
just
get
Not
the
the
same
guy.
booth.
guy.
Stop
That
at the
same
office
thing. That's
outside.
same office, and if you tell them, they do reverse
will-
the
yeah,
charge.
there's
I've
an
had a
office right
problem
there.
before, and they've been very decent about it.
But it's 42 bucks to be reversed. I want that 100 and odd
No,
bucks.
so
that
No,
you
no,
tell
they'll
tell
give
them.
you that
You tell them
also,
that.
because
They'll
they'll be
charge
able
you the
to.
42 and they'll give you the 170 back.
Because they'll be able
You
to
think?
check. No, they'll see
Yeah.
on the system what the
Yeah.
number is, so they shouldn't
But
have
how did this
charged you.
happen?
Sometimes the machine glitches.
Is it the machine or the guy has a
So
figured
it-
out a jugaad
no,
where he can
no.
shut it after a second and say, boss? It's
No,
low."
I think
No,
it's
it's the
the machine that glitches
I
because
would
it
agree.
happens.
So you're saying
sometimes.
don't hang the man. Damn it.
Yeah.
I already planned. We go to the same. Look at me. This is my Parsi jeans. We go at the same time, find the same guy, and I got my camera.
Because no, these are all disguised employment people. Don't shit
Yeah.
on them.
Yeah,
It's not
damn it.
their fault.
But I just hate those guys in uniform who ask you for tickets. No? It's just
Hmm.
from childhood. If you have a uniform and they're asking for a parking ticket or whatever, I'm just already angry. It just
It's
seems
a
wrong.
waste of labor, but at the same time, we have.
We
more
want
jobs.
structure.
We need jobs.
Of course, at
Yeah.
the airport, when
Yeah.
you're leaving the
Yeah.
international airport, the fact is that I can press a button and I can take the tag and give the money. But no, there's a guy there who does that transaction
Yeah.
for me.
Actually,
So
I had a
One-
huge fight at
one
the
guy.
airport.
there's two.
There are two.
I had a big fight at the airport also coming out of the
Sure, you did. What was it about?
customs thingy.
Out of Spain.
Green
Okay.
Channel. Yeah, no, Bombay.
Were you smuggling things?
No, I wasn't. But out of 4 lines, we were the slowest. And why? Because they've written up there hand baggage and X marked baggage
Yeah,
only,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Did you get X mark?
No, but he just kept putting all the bags in. None of us were X marked. And he actually asked me, put your big bag in. I said, no, you said X mark and hand baggage.
That's fair.
Don't waste my time. So he said, no, but Abu Dhabi se aa gaya hai. So I explained to him, even if we come from Abu Dhabi, we didn't come from Abu Dhabi. Our bags came from
Hmm.
Madrid. So please understand, my bag
You're
didn't do anything.
already at the
Yeah.
X-ray machine. Why are you wasting
Yeah.
time? Just put
Because-
the fucking
Just
bag
It is
in
the
there.
principle
Exactly.
of it. Because
Everybody
you
on the next
but
three
no,
lanes
just
are
get
going
done
so
with it,
fast.
no? Like,
Kunal
what's
went.
it gonna happen?
Kunal's waving. Kunal, the fat slob, is waving to us.
But
He's
you're
right in front.
already
My heart was
You're
breaking, Amit. My
already
heart was
at the
breaking.
end of the line. Just put the damn bag inside. Why are you arguing with this guy? It's
Because
gonna
he's
take 10
inefficient, the
minutes.
moron. He's
He
wasting
is.
time.
I'm not
Well, he
denying any
does
of
in
that.
fact
And he's not
have
following his
gold
own
in
law.
the bag.
Yeah.
Cyrus has gold in the bag.
That-
You think?
that-
Really?
That's
Ayushi?
funny.
You know me now. I wear. I'm the only one who happily wears the
Cyrus-
shirt because I don't have any. What are you saying?
But it's very impressive that Cyrus, you're not afraid of the police at all. Like I would think 10 times, like,
You're not
okay,
police,
if I
trust
say
me.
this guy will,
No, listen,
might
you
maybe
haven't
get
slept, you're
offended
already
and like
irritable.
do
I have
something.
nothing. I'm an impatient person. The one thing that's really difficult for me is waiting. So we're the only line not moving. Have you been through that? You're like on a treadmill. Everybody else is walking by
Sure.
you. It's ridiculous.
It's like that little. If it's not Murphy's law, is it? But what is it? It's the probability.
But
of
Ayushi was
it.
grabbing everybody's
Yeah.
big bag and
What
putting it
can
in
go
and
wrong will
taking
go
hours
wrong.
and
That
hours.
is-
But didn't what was that movie Interstellar kind of correct that Murphy's law is not everything that's supposed to go wrong can go wrong. It's Murphy's law is whatever can happen will happen. So actually, we've taken it to
Oh, so
be a
this
negative
domino effect law
connotation.
thingy, it's not.
Oh yeah,
It's just that specific
just
problem
if
area which
it's
happens.
possible for something to happen, it can happen. So we've just
But
taken it to be the
Murphy's
most
law,
negative.
you localize it to
thing.
Indian conditions, then it
Which-
becomes a domino effect.
Yes. So in
Yeah.
I think Murphy's law in India is if you're gonna get fucked, you will get
Yeah,
fucked.
yeah. And
If
more
it's
than that,
possible
more than
to
the
get
specific
fucked, you're gonna get-
screwing that you get at the airport, then say the rain destroys the
Yeah,
car,
yeah.
the toll machine doesn't work, it goes on like that. Yeah.
And then you're literally like, why did I come back?
And then
Just
when you look
because-
around, it's the same family. Damn. Can you imagine?
But you look like you had a good time. I actually looked at your
Posing.
Instagram. I
didn't put anything on Instagram.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you-
Cyrus, I'm gonna admit
Kunal
I
was
missed
sending
you.
Yeah,
pictures
Kunal,
to Pastry.
I didn't
Awesome
carry
day.
the phone.
Oh,
I never carried the phone. The phone
I've
was in the
been
room.
gone. Here I was thinking that you were
Kunal
having
is
a
like an
good
11-year-old.
time
He's
with your
always on the phone
family.
taking pictures, this, that, and the other.
No, but you did, Cyrus. Ayushi's right. You posted those selfie videos of on the side of the road, talking about the people
No.
walking by and all that. Yeah.
And then Aisha was trying to hide her
Two things
hair
with
and
his
all.
phone,
Yeah.
which happened just
Oh,
spontaneously.
okay.
Not like
Oh, okay,
Kunal,
okay,
who's
okay.
taking pictures of every monument like he's in charge of Spanish municipality. इस church का angle गलत है, मैं उसको 45 degrees आगे लूंगा. This is that kind of thing
I
happening.
seriously doubt Cyrus knows how to do stories or reels. I
Yeah.
know this.
I
stuff. He
thought
has to
that
send this
joke
shit
that
to
you-
No, no.
Costa.
I just assumed Kostov told him, okay, shoot something like this, and then Cyrus did it and sent it to.
You
Kostov
must have
to
come up
post,
with
you know?
some captions.
No, I didn't even look at it.
So you actually, I laughed so out when I think you put up one of Aisha eating like paella, and you said she eats paella and I have to pay dusra, and I laughed.
Yeah,
so
that I did. That I did.
I have to
showed-
pay.
And
Is
I
that
showed
what
that
it
to my
is?
mom, being like, "This is who I do a show with."
But Silvery, you don't understand. It smells of fish. I told you top 10. I don't like the smell of fish, man. That fishy, oily smell. Yeah,
Of
it's a bit like
paella.
Sparsh's hair. You know, it's just not fun.
Wow. Y'all don't have showers here, right?
Oh, yeah.
As you
All right,
just found
let's-
out, Ayushi, because she's sitting next to him.
But
Sparsh,
Should
where
we
do
go
you
to
bathe?
the?
Absolutely not. There is no.
Well, let's ask him that. You sleep here overnight, so where do you bathe?
He does sleep here every night, like once in a while. I think he's done it.
And then where does he
I
bathe?
Sparsh, how often are you
once
doing
he
this?
has slept here, I hope.
Once he's done
Once
this,
he
yeah.
has slept here.
And so
Once
you
he
just went
slept,
down in
yeah.
the rain, wearing your underwear, and came back up, is it?
went back home and came.
Okay, all right. He doesn't have a
He
mic.
did
So
go.
this is a stupid podcast. Disclaimer: you knew that. All right.
All right,
What's
let's,
the next
let's go to
topic?
the
Sorry,
AMAs. Let's go to the AMAs.
Already?
Let's go to the. We have a lot of AMA questions. Yeah, and it's already 52 minutes in.
52 minutes in.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
Murphy's Law.
All right. Cool. The first question comes in from Avranil Paul. He says, "Hello, IBM family." So he says, "From Angur, Kaate to Jab Harry Met Sejal, which are Bollywood's best and worst remakes of all time, according to you guys?" And Cyrus, you can't talk about Hello Friends.
Huh.
He just said that off the bat.
Attack.
Because it's neither best or worst. It's right in the middle.
So
It
best,
lives
Yeah.
in limbo.
best is that Amir Khan Pooja Bhatt movie.
Which one?
The It Happened One Night.
What about Cape
uh,
Fear Dar? That
I
was
I
not
really
too
like
bad.
Dawn, the Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah, Dawn
Yeah,
is quite
but
nice.
Dawn was not a Hollywood remake. It was a Bollywood remake.
Oh,
But
really?
isn't it inspired
Oh,
by
I said
some
Bollywood.
gangster
Okay,
film,
okay.
American
It's not,
gangster
yeah,
film?
sure.
For sure.
What's that
sure.
movie
I'm gonna
called? What was that
Google
Amir
it.
Khan and Pooja Bhatt movie called?
Amir Khan? No.
Yeah, the two of them. It was.
Oh, here we go. 15 minutes now. We have to find the damn film.
It won't take
Anybody
long.
out there who can remember the
Dil
Amir
Leke
Khan?
Manta Nahi, was that it? I think
What-
that
Dil
was
Leke
it.
Manta Nahi. Okay, yeah, sure. That's one. Yeah.
But what is it a remake of,
It's,
guys?
It happened one night. It's basically the
Oh,
story
I haven't
of
seen it.
Cary Grant and.
Oh my God. It's an
this-
oldie.
Oh,
yeah.
I'd say Badshah's pretty good. Badshah is the kind of the remake
Peter
of
Sellers, yeah.
three
Peter
different
Sellers.
Jackie Chan movies.
No, Badshah is
Uh,
a remake of Pink Panther. He's
No,
So
no.
that's
Okay,
one
yeah,
of-
sure. The
Okay,
elements
huh?
from all from
He
so
said
many.
3 different Peter Sellers movies. This is one
no,
of
he
them.
said Jackie Chan.
Jackie
he
Chan,
said
3 different Jackie Chan
Oh,
movies.
okay.
Yeah.
It's from which is that? From Russia. There are moments
This
of
question
Russia
has thrown us.
in
Now we can't
Badshah.
figure out even one.
Yeah.
What is the exact clear copy? Is there an exact clear copy?
Yeah,
where
That
it's
okay. That
basically
12 Angry
same?
Men has that ek ruka
Just
hua
language
faisla.
changes.
Okay.
Oh,
that's-
there's
that
that Nana. What's Nana Patekar? The one where the
I can't even
psychiatrist,
find
when
anything.
De Niro plays the psychiatrist,
analyze this.
analyze this. So that was done. That was almost
That
a
wasn't that. It was not that. It was Falling Down.
falling down is
Falling Down is a Michael
Kirk
Douglas
Douglas's son.
movie
Yeah.
where he flips out.
Yeah,
and
yeah, I've
Nana
seen it.
Patekar
I've seen it.
played
So
that.
who does falling down?
Nana Patekar was in one of Falling Down.
Would you
That's
call
the- oh God.
would
We
you
have
call
half
Koi Mil Gaya
information.
remake?
This is very difficult
Would you
to
call
answer.
Koi Mil Gaya? Is Koi Mil Gaya? Would that be considered a remake of ET?
No.
No,
No.
I would say it's a marriage proposal. I mean,
Okay.
All right.
Uh,
So
we
we tried,
failed.
guys.
We
How many-
failed.
Sorry, we
There's a-
tried.
There's a
Yes.
timeout,
So
bro.
that- yeah,
On and on.
Not easy to kind of.
Oh,
figure this out.
coach is calling us to the sidelines. You got to
How
work.
many movies have
Okay.
been based on The Godfather? I can think of 2. There was Feroz Khan Dharmatma,
Is it?
and yeah, that was
What about Nayakan,
straight
the original
Godfather.
Nayakan with
That wasn't
Kamala
really a
Hassan?
Godfather movie. That was more Scarface than Godfather, but
Is
it
it?
was a nicer Scarface compared to the
I like
Al
Nayakan.
Pacino character.
And then the Vinod Khanna made that one.
That one,
Yeah, that wasn't too bad also.
that was good too.
Yeah.
Which was that? There was.
Ghajini was a decent copy. Roy
Yeah,
still decide.
Kajni was decent.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Ghazni for Memento.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
Memento, Memento.
Yeah.
Actually, even Gulam on the waterfront.
Really?
Yeah.
Gulam is on the waterfront.
Oh,
Is
Gulam
that a
is on the
copy?
waterfront.
Oh.
Dharmatma
Gulam is a copy.
Gulam is
the-
Amir Khan, no?
Yeah, Gulam
Yeah,
With
is
Rajat Kapoor in a
uh,
prominent role.
Rani Mukherjee.
My
Rani.
God,
That
Marlon Brando,
Khandala.
Amir
Khandala
Khan.
song,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Khandala song is Gulam.
Yeah,
It's Gulam.
Yeah, Ati kya Khandala.
What are you
Khandala.
saying?
yeah. It's
I
on
wish-
the it's on
Even
the waterfront.
I know this.
I mean, I sort of remember.
What do you guys
I can't remember everything. It's too
That's
much work.
true,
Too
that's
much work
true.
for this old
did you
man.
guys see the trailer of Lal Singh Chaddha? I think that's why the question has come up because the
I-
Forrest
what
Gump
is
ka
Lal
remake
Singh
is just about.
Oh God.
It's the Forrest
Wait
Gump.
1 second.
Yeah,
Lal
Amir
Singh
Khan,
Chaddha is Forrest Gump.
See, I grew up with the
Yeah.
Chaddas, so I
I
understand
think
the
you
thinking.
take out a box of Barfi instead of
Yeah.
chocolate.
So it's the Forrest Gump remake
That's a
with
good one.
Amir Khan
Yeah.
and
Different Barfi.
Forrest Gump.
Life एक box of burfi
Barfi.
hai. What the- That's tough.
Abbas says
Oh.
Barfi ripped off a bunch of Chaplin's
But
kids.
Barfi is,
That's
you
why.
don't
The
get
movie,
Barfi in
huh.
variety boxes. That's the quote, right? Life
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like
yeah,
a box of
okay.
chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
So then,
Yeah.
but
Barfi,
actually,
you know,
but,
you're getting your Barfi.
but India, that's our problem. We do mass of one.
But we
like
don't
laddus
write
come
burfi
in 12.
necessarily on it, so you don't know when you get a gift if it comes home. You know what? Always mithai because I like
No,
only
but
the
you know what?
malai based
Cadbury
stuff.
celebrations.
There you go.
That's a mixed pack.
That's a
Rakhi
mixed
special,
box.
all disgusting
And it's
flavors.
desi enough for you, even though Cadbury, but Cadbury is an Indian name now. Yeah,
Cadbury is very much Indian. I
I
think
met a
there's a lot of
Doberman called
people who-
Cadbury in Bombay.
I'm not
Oh.
So if your
surprised.
Doberman's called
That's-
Cadbury, I'm saying that's desi enough
Nice
for
name.
me.
Mm,
Right?
that's true.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cadbury
Yeah.
was also the name of
Den-
Artemis Fowl's butler, if I'm not
No,
mistaken.
Dennis the Menace, no? So one of
Was
those.
Dennis?
Cadbury,
Yeah.
yes, I think Artemis Fowl's Butler. I think is
Butler was
called
called
Cadbury.
Cadbury, no? I think
Yeah.
it was.
And
yeah,
Holly
Okay.
was the
Podcast
fairy,
is so
and-
filled with
It is.
misinformation
So
and half
sorry.
information. Ayushi is removed. What are you doing? You're doing
I
headbanging.
sneezed.
Oh, I thought you heavy metal playing in the background or something. Something like
Just in my
Def
ear.
Leppard or some shit happening which we are not, akin to. Next question, we give up.
Yes, next one comes in from Bruce Wayne, who says AMA for Cyrus and Amit. Why do Indians have
Ayushi.
an obsession?
I'm
Buzz off,
out.
buzz
I'm
off.
out.
How
My
rude.
Ayushi, no. Says why do Indians have an obsession with foreigners and what they think of us and what they think of us? Even NRIs are kept on a pedestal.
It's got something
Is
to do
it
with how
low
we-
self-esteem? Is it low self-esteem or has colonialism permanently modified our DNA?
Yeah, so firstly, someone
Yeah.
like Amit can't answer this question because he's sort of Americanized with a half American accent, which is genuine. But if you notice, we always put on the accent, or a lot of us put on the accent of the person, and whoever they are. It could be South African, a bad South African comes out, and that tells you something. There's some inadequacy in the
that's not an
personality.
Indian thing. That's called code switching. It's a
Yeah.
psychological
Yeah.
concept that everybody does.
Exactly.
Not
And you do
everybody, bro.
no, you
Everybody,
do
every
it to
single
make
person
the
does
other
it.
I had a
person
friend
feel
from
more
Yorkshire.
comfortable.
Couldn't understand a word he said. He never even tried.
But he would probably try to talk to you in an Indian accent, which
No,
makes
he
it even
didn't.
more
He
understandable.
couldn't understand a word he was saying.
Everybody
But
does it.
he's right. This is the thing. It's a sociological phenomenon. You do it to make the other person feel more comfortable.
So, what is your answer then for the Indian
Well,
low
it's not for
self-esteem?
me, isn't it?
I
The
don't
question
think-
is
That's
not
not
for
for
me.
you.
Okay. No, but I don't think it applies. Honestly, I don't think it's true. And I think that
There is a bit of foreign worshipping. All of us do
yeah,
that.
but I
Yeah.
mean, like,
We have a
We are
I don't
highly
know that it
influenced.
is a.
We are like the internet before the
Okay,
internet.
all
India
right.
was open. Urban India was open to everything from abroad.
Yeah,
So
no,
we took
that's
it all
fair.
in.
That's fair.
We have a colonial hangover. It's definitely
And beyond
there.
colonial,
Is it a
other
colonial
cultures,
hangover?
other
Is
cultures.
it more of a approval seeking? Is it
I'm
more?
saying that we allow people to come into us.
Hmm.
We allow that. We are porous
But
in
we're
that
still
sense.
we still keep fighting for the seat at the table that, first of all, the
Yeah.
table in itself has expanded, it has changed, the definition of the table has changed, and frankly we should be building our own. That's a whole other
Oh
Yeah.
God,
parable
you're
under that
sounding right wing
metaphor.
now. You're sounding like
No,
Sriya or
but,
Lucknow.
no,
I'm
but
getting
I'm saying
scared.
there's another way to build
Hey,
that.
maze, table nahi hai, maze hai.
No, why
we
why
keep
does
trying
India
to
need
get
to
it.
work in a like the Quad is interesting, right? In that
Yeah.
perspective.
To beat China, they call it Quad.
No, but I mean, like, no. The idea is that why do you have to work within the confines of what a NATO or a UN is, right? Why
True.
can you not create your own
Absolutely.
organizations?
True.
So-
And actually makes more sense politically. The alliances should be
Yeah.
more specific because otherwise it's pointless. You
And
could have
and geography
secular
based.
move. Yeah.
And geography based.
ba-
Why should you
and
be
need
aligned with
based.
a
And
movement
need based.
that's
Our needs are
happening?
the same, and those needs are not the same.
Yeah.
Those needs are similar.
But I'd say this, right? When you're talking about, like, looking for foreign approval for things, this is mostly, I think it mostly comes up in a cultural context because I think when it comes to our foreign policy, we really don't. Because otherwuless we would not
That's
have
Now-
yeah. The
with Russia. and
modern
everybody
India
that
has
we did.
gone, like she said, has gone.
Always.
It's like a
Non-aligned has always
counterpoint.
been a
The
part,
counterpoint
right, of
seems.
how when you
but,
when
but
you
we
but-
changed our foreign policy considerably in the
No,
last 8 years.
And this more
We
aggressive
have.
stance is almost like a complex also.
yeah, it
Because
is.
you're actually going out of your way to say, I don't want to follow.
non-aligned has always been a core Indian attribute in terms of how they approach
Nehruji,
foreign policy.
Nehruji.
Yeah.
And
So I don't know that.
Nam.
now Rahulji's
Yeah.
problem is most of his people are non-aligned.
Okay.
That is that's good.
Let's
Next
take the
one.
next one. Yeah.
Yeah, next one comes in from Versailles Thomas. It's a very cool comment for Amit. He says, at Amit, Anish thing by Anish is a wicked podcast. Thanks. Really liked the 2 episodes so far and looking forward to many more.
I'm
This
glad
is not
we-
a question.
And I just want to
It's
say,
not.
Yeah, it's just
if you-
one of
it's
our
an
new
expression of
podcasts.
admiration.
Yeah.
if you
Yes.
look at
Promotion
Versailles
of a
Thomas's
podcast.
picture, it looks amazingly like Anish. But I mean,
It
not,
does
not
not.
that I'm
It
jealous.
does
or
not.
anything. I'm
It
just
absolutely
saying,
does not.
Putting it out there. Yeah.
Okay. Next question comes in from Deepak Narang, who says, how do you tackle
Hey,
the
one
parking
second,
mafia?
Sorry. Just before you do that, I just want to point out to people at Coke, whatever we said about Pepsi, Coke, etc. Amit is a loyalist to Diet Coke,
That's
and I
true.
think you should sponsor this podcast because I mean, unnecessarily, it's there all the time. You can't do more brand building than what he's doing.
You get all
So,
the product placement.
I mean,
You
I would
have
do
to
it.
say-
Red
You
and
can't
black.
wear that T-shirt
red
during
and
that
black.
No,
sponsorship.
but the
though.
genuine
Sorry.
it's very rare where the endorsement is genuine.
But
This
you're
is so
wearing
genuine.
the wrong T-shirt while asking
I'll
for the
change the damn
sentence.
T-shirt. They give us the shirt goes. Come on, I'll
We'll-
face that way
we'll-
for the rest of the
We
podcast.
get a marker and interchange Pepsi and Coke ka position.
It's not a big
Nothing
issue,
on a
really.
t-shirt.
The
Ayushi.
Pepsi would, the T-shirt would then say, "I don't do Pepsi, I do Coke." And given
Yeah, I
Cyrus's
do Coke
personality, that would
only.
be an
So
interesting-
believable.
And
Unbelievable.
guys, have you learned nothing from have you learned nothing from Eknath Shinde? It doesn't really matter what you thought before. Come on.
Yeah,
Go
correct.
on.
We're all up for sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
All right.
sorry, you were
this
saying
one.
about parking.
Yes.
Huh.
Deepak Narang has asked, how do you tackle the parking mafia in Bombay who
So
charge
this is a Punjabi
exorbitant rates to
surname,
just
Narang.
park on the road?
You're a Punjabi. How can you say Narang?
Narang,
I mean, this is
Narang.
your home.
I mean,
Even this you can't speak
it's-
properly. Are you
It's
Parsi?
right.
Narang.
Deepak
He
Narang.
makes up communities. He makes up villages. I don't know
Deepak.
where this guy is from.
How you don't know your own com?
Yeah. I mean, it's
What
very
is this?
common.
Are you supposed to know every surname? that
Your
is Punjabi?
com is important to you, beta. Huh.
Yes. Yes,
Hey,
Mr.
Putar,
Bharucha.
how will
all
we
right.
get you Shadi later?
How
All
we
right.
will get you shot?
Haven't you, when you're in Punjab, don't you get that? When you're from Delhi
love-
onwards, when
I-
the languages get mixed, I
Mix-
love
I
it.
just love it. I love going north from
You
Delhi.
pick up words.
and you're
which-
just
yeah.
like, what?
But they
Don't
do it
mind
very
me.
fluently. You can't do it.
And they do
It's
it
just
weirdly caringly. You kind of get
Yeah,
swept up in it. You're like, doesn't matter, don't mind.
It's
Everything
like
is okay.
it's like how Tamil Nadu came up with why this Kolavari D? It just
And it just
actually sounds
worked.
wrong. It works superb. Yeah.
All right.
Um,
Yeah. So
Okay,
how do you
but-
tackle the parking mafia in Bombay who charge exorbitant rates to just park on the road?
no,
I hate it.
Am I mad? I
It's
don't
the
know
worst.
whether you guys feel this, but the anxiety I have, even when I'm going to Sakinaka to shoot,
Hmm.
is not about the shoot. It's about the
The
travel and the parking. It's this link. Do I have money in the dam? Do I going to fight with that guy? I get parking? I've called Amit 3 times. He knows. After some time, when I didn't have a chauffeur and I was driving myself, he would get the call at 8:30. He knew exactly what the call
Oh,
was
where
about.
is the parking here?
It's negotiable, Ayushi.
There's one parking which I have, and then there are two parkings in the basement.
Listen, you gotta give the towny people some preference here.
You can have the basement parking.
We are elitists for a reason.
You can have
The basement parking is the lift. There's a lift taking you to the basement
And
with
then-
the car.
that even I
wasn't
have.
working. This
Oh,
is
that's the
India.
worst because in the
So the
monsoon,
parking
those
is there,
lifts
but you
are-
can't get into the parking. That's the problem.
Have you had the opposite? In my office building, I have to park in the basement. I have not been able to get the car out
Why?
twice, and once I got stuck inside. The
You mean
lift.
the lift stops then?
No. Once I was in the car in the lift, and the lift just stopped,
Okay.
and I was just stuck
Oh.
inside. I was like, "Oh, this is how I die. This is it.
Yeah.
This is how it goes." Then they finally figured something out, and I banged and everything. But twice, what's happened is during the monsoon, some of the lift stops working, so then the car is stuck there for the night, and you're like, I guess.
But what if you're in?
Means?
Like you just said, what if you're in
Ah.
the car and it stops then?
They had to call the emergency WhatsApp number that was pasted on the thing, but I did not
Nicely
have network.
done. So WhatsApp hai na piche?
I'm
WhatsApp.
like, madam, number. I'm like, network nahi hai. Shoot him in the lift.
Murphy, call fucking Murphy. It's just going to
Bang.
Oh,
It was
God.
quite manic
Oh,
in that
man.
moment. But yeah,
Yeah,
it
but
happened.
I was a little worried about those underground parkings.
Yeah.
I
I
am
always
too.
worry about these kind of things. Get suddenly stuck there and there's a technology.
I don't like the lift, and ours is not a one lift parking; it's a two lift parking.
Yeah.
Right. So
Oh.
basically, first you have to go down in the main lift, which takes you to the basement level.
And then,
Then we have those, like those.
oh, those that
Semi.
yeah, got
it
it, got it,
becomes
got it.
one
Like a-
kind
like a
of thing.
rig.
Yeah, like a rig.
yeah.
That's
So you have to then get onto that, and so that's why.
so Rixy.
Ayushi, 6 runs. You're like
actually-
Besto. You're hitting the ball out of the park here.
This is
These
why.
are all my jokes for the whole week.
No, no, super.
I saved them up for this 1 hour.
Don't say that. Don't say that. You've raised the level of this very, very low plunging show. Well done.
No,
Oh.
but this is why I have a driver, because this shit is not.
It's not possible.
It's
Yeah.
No, but who drivers only for parking? Who would keep a driver otherwise? It's
Yeah.
really the parking which is the
That's
It
issue.
is.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
Correct.
And, of
You're
course, and if
absolutely
you go to Sakinaka, Marol, and Bandu,
So when
then
you go to
yes.
Sakinaka, you need a driver.
Yeah,
I think
Absolutely.
Sakinaka.
Then I feel bad for him because even
Also,
he doesn't know how to
dude,
negotiate.
yesterday I went
We've lost
to,
half our audience. You know
I
that,
went
Yeah,
to.
they're putting it off immediately.
right?
Fuck you, Walkeshwar.
No, I went to Malad yesterday, or Goregaon, or one of those. like the
So bad you
Amara
can't
Mall.
remember. Goregaon is where he lives.
It's supposed
But
to be
Malad
the
and Goregaon,
Malad-
yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
supposed
get
to
it.
be the Malad
Blend into each
court,
other.
but it was
It
Goregaon.
actually comes
actually-
like
Yeah,
how
yeah.
Oshiwara
Yeah.
crosses into this thing. Yeah.
Local
But,
Malad.
Yes, Oshiwara lies about where it is.
No,
Yeah.
our problem with Oshiwara is
Oshiwara
when-
makes you think that you're earlier than Andheri.
when,
You're
when we
actually
used to
But
after
you're
shoot
not.
Andheri.
Bakra and Oshiwara, 3 cops would come, vans. And we had to pay all 3 of them because it was like a no man's land, area of dispute,
Yeah,
line of
but
control.
because even I can't. It's lying. You think you're like you're
That-
in Andheri. You've reached. You're like I'm there. Lokhandwala. But
But
it's
but
still
when they
not
say Oshiwara on the shop, so you always look at the
And-
shop address. Or shop is saying
Mm.
Oshiwara.
That-
Argue with the cop. ये अंधेरी नहीं है, whatever. The Jogeshwari नहीं है, but he would still. you
Huh,
know,
then this
Worst,
Jogeshwari comes
worst
out of
area
nowhere.
for parking,
but
by
there's
the
no
way.
Jogeshwari written
That
there. But
area?
he claims that it's a bifurcation
And
of
that whole area
trifurcation.
is a cluster F. There's no parking
Yeah,
in
yeah.
any of those neighborhoods.
Yeah, all paid parking, and
This
it's
is why I
never
told
written.
Amit,
There is never a
He should have
BMC
just
sign
joined a
saying there's
BM,
parking.
an MNC and worked up
State
to
parking.
BKC and no further. But now he's
But the
brought us here.
BKC, but I used to work in BKC in the traffic in BKC getting
It
out in the
was-
evening
Yeah.
is you
But you
will-
know that
I-
2 hour period. Now
I
I
you
see
can
you
avoid that.
running in the streets.
But have
Yeah, I
you
can
been
Like a
to
madman.
BKC since this new bridge has come?
Yeah, so the connector helps getting into BKC.
but
It's
even
not
coming
so
out,
much.
no?
That
No?
6:30, 7:30 time is really
No,
bad.
but I've not worked there after the connector.
Yeah.
I used to work pre-connector.
Now she works with us, no? And as you can see,
As you can
doing
tell,
a fine job.
And then
things are
nobody
going
lets.
very
yeah.
badly for me.
All right,
Okay, next.
next one. This last one comes in from Keith B, who says, "This is a nice comment." He says, "When is there going to be a physical meetup with all the Cyrus S fans and the hosts?
Oh,
Don't
shit.
ignore my comments. Third attempt to
Amit,
get your attention."
We have 1,000 episode coming up any moment now next month.
Yes.
At
Ish.
some point.
Yes.
So
At some
we don't
point,
have
yes.
plans. The plans are not.
Well, I mean, like nothing
fructified.
yet. We need
Yeah,
to.
But you should do it because there's a lot of people who reach out, like, and they have
Yeah.
like Discord chats and
Yeah.
stuff for the show, and like there's a
No,
lot
we
of
do
people.
want to do it. The thing is, what do we do as an event, right? We can just all go and hang out
We-
someplace.
we
That's
can't find the
easy
right
enough to
brand
do,
ambassador.
But we want to.
You should do mini panels, like
Yeah, we wanna
do
do
like
like a
do
real-
one like maybe 1.5 hours of like you talking to all the different hosts and like a different setup, and then like a meet and greet.
That's not a bad idea.
Actually, we can do that.
Then why do we hire her at reduced rates? Why do
No,
we-
no. Every episode, my rate is going up now.
Oh, she's a vendor, a freelancer, right? So you don't have that on your books. You know to pay
She is
This is
provident
how
fund.
the
She is a
contractor,
contractor.
contracted
Contract-
labor.
contracted employee. Fair enough.
Yes.
Sparish is looking very worried. Go check your contract, bro. I don't know. maybe your Goregaon house is now Amit's. You better check exactly what you have no idea what you signed. He's a guitarist, end of the day. As typical, all our
Yeah.
producers are something else, right? They aren't technically producers. They're stand-up comedians, they're actors, there's musicians. There's nobody who really wants to produce a show.
But that I think is like this media whole landscape. That this is very new
You
for
gotta
me to
survive.
have this
Yeah.
second gig kind
Yeah.
of. It's not a gig, let's be honest, but I mean like a second thing.
Mm.
Where because I work in a very corporate setup, but you guys like in general, what I found from meeting all the people on your show, everyone has like 9 different things that they do.
Because
that
they have to survive. Ayushi, you've got a job, or rather,
yeah,
you have
yeah,
a
yeah.
business.
No, I know
Yeah.
that
So
sounded
this
stupid.
is actually
I'm
like
just
your
saying,
no, this is something you do, but it's not going to affect you one way or the other.
Yeah.
Sadly, unlike all the others, there are people who, if we don't put them on the show, don't eat. You know. Shreyas, I'm sorry, I didn't want to. Shreyas has 18 restaurants.
Shreyas can go and eat in her
18.
own
We
restaurant.
counted. Manohar family has 18. 1-8, not 2, not 5.
He
18.
has 18
Not
Yeah.
restaurants.
franchise.
Yeah.
Six.
Not franchise.
Vishnu Ji ki
18
Rasoi, I think it's
they
called.
own 18
Yeah.
restaurants.
What are they called?
Vishnu Ji ki Rasoi.
That's the
Yeah.
main
Vishnu
one.
Ji
There are
Rasoi.
there are 3 more
I see,
branches,
yeah.
3 more
He's
types.
a vegetarian.
No, they're all veg.
Yeah, yeah,
The
pure
Brahmins at the
veg,
end of the
yes,
day, they can't
But
serve.
very popular
But
apparently.
apparently, they have a
Huge.
branch in Dallas and they have a branch in San Francisco. And
Yeah,
And looking to expand.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah,
This
yeah.
pandemic has come on the
Exactly.
way. They're looking to expand. So that's aggressive, positive thinking. Many businesses collapse, and those who are looking to expand through bad
So what
times.
is this with these comics pretending to be like
They're
real
all-
abject poverty
They're all
people?
liars. Silvery's owns Pawai. He's not suffering.
I know. After this
alright.
car situation of Silvery's, I don't believe it.
Only 3
Yeah.
people need
Yeah,
this
yeah.
gig and come to work regularly, religiously. Amit, Cyrus, and Rishi. And Rishi Bichara
Yeah.
just comes from Panvel. And these monkeys give us trouble from car. It's just so wrong, when you hear these stories. Oh, it's raining. Yeah, I ran late. You came from car. The bugger came from Panvel. He came on time. I mean, how do you
That's
explain
true.
that?
That's, I mean, we're really very horrible.
And Indians make that face now when they make the excuses. Too much traffic. Why do we always do the acting with it? We
I did
always
it.
sell it.
You
Yeah.
know, when Sparsh asked, I didn't even say
All this
sorry. I
COVID.
said, it's rain and traffic. I can't.
You're mean. You didn't make the face. You got to make the face so they feel bad for you. Sparsh, bahut barish hai. You got to make that thing.
I knew that there was no way of controlling this. So I was like, I'm just leaning into it. I'm late. I know I was going to say something, but I was like, I'm sorry.
But you've never been late, huh?
This is the first time that this
I'm
month.
telling a woman that.
All right, I think it's perfect time.
Are we done?
Sorry. We're going back to the
Just join. Hi, all.
expertise.
It's late.
Okay.
Wait, Jeffy
Alright.
just joined. Give him one
Jeffy.
question. Bichara, he's come all the way.
He just said hi
One
all. We
question.
just read his first comment. We already read
yeah,
his first
yeah.
comment.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to do one more, we can.
Although just joined is basically the story of all those who are still on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay, fast,
Alright.
last comment.
Yes, sure. This one comes in from Binoy Pillai, who says, as we have seen many podcasters moving to Bluetooth mics and relaxed setups as studios. Example,
Okay,
Andrew
Amit,
shows.
you're on. You're on.
When would
So
IVM
having-
move to similar relaxed setups with couches, etc.?
we can do that whenever we want to. I mean, that's not.
No, the
really
relaxed setup is a little different because that's more to do with the furniture. But
I
the
guess,
Bluetooth
yeah.
mics,
Yeah. But
Mics
relaxed,
don't
we are
work as
relaxed
well
enough,
as
like
wired mics.
conversation wise, I would say.
No, yeah, I'm saying that's more a
No, I
technical
guess he
issue about
means
which
like
mic you're
armchair
using because you can
podcasts,
make
no?
this
Like
look
just
relaxed. You can
sitting-
just
Sorry.
I guess he means more just like sitting on
yeah,
like
he's talking about the
couches
casual
and
that-
stuff
approach
like
of
that.
four of them
I mean,
drinking
that's
alcohol and
something-
sitting on a couch.
That's something that can happen.
They drink
generally,
alcohol.
I-
All of them. That's the whole beauty of their
but see,
podcast.
again, the
I would
thing
like
is,
to do that.
The way they do it is a little different in the
Yeah.
sense that we try to do it with laptops in front of us, right?
Yeah.
They don't do that. They do a full video setup and stuff like that.
There's a crew.
Yeah,
There's
and
a rig and all.
one of the things that I've realized is that if I'm going to be on a show like today, I didn't have much to say because I made no notes, right? I didn't read any of the stories. I had no notes. I had nothing.
You
right?
spoke throughout the show. I was trying to tell him, kill his sound. What are you talking about?
This
You
trio
dominant
does not have to
personality.
read.
It's not fair.
No, but
Yeah, that makes 3 of us, right?
None
Oh,
of
as if Silvery, except for the Bangalore location, what does he bring to the party,
That's
for
right.
God's sake?
It's with the title of the article. That's it.
Poor jokers. Yeah.
no, but I think I think having a laptop in front of me
Helps,
generally
yeah,
helps when I
yeah.
want to do a podcast. Search for something, look for something. Right now, I want to
Yeah.
find the name of the movie Dil Manta Hai, Dil Chata Hai, Dil Hai Ki
Dil hai ki
Mangta Hai.
mangta hai.
Look where we are without the laptop. He can't remember the title. So how are we going to source it?
This
But-
is as
but that-
relaxed as we can
That's
get.
no criticism on
Yeah.
poor Rishi here, who does his best to come to the party, but we don't give him enough information. But I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
You research it yourself, you're
Hmm.
on with your statistics or whatever,
Correct.
immediately you can take take it forward.
The other way is then you have producers who can basically throw you information. If you look at the Rich Eisen show, you look
Or
at
even Rogan, what's his name, Andy?
Andrew Schultz. They have
Joe
producers, Rogan. They have
Yeah.
producers sitting there who are throwing stuff at them all
It
the
appears to
time.
be
And they're
live.
like-
It's
and-
usually live. He says,
Because
let's
they
take a look at it.
ask.
It's live, right?
Because
When
he
he
asked,
asks for it,
he'll be like, "What was the movie that they
Yeah.
did?" And like
So what they
2
do is,
seconds later, they
and
get
if
the
it's not,
answer.
they just carry on talking and then he
Yeah.
introduces it. It's not a
Introduces
problem.
it,
Rishi,
it's
learn,
fine.
yeah, learn.
But
We'll
that's
both
not,
do that.
that-
Start getting the Wi-Fi on the bus. This is ridiculous.
But also the difference is also the live streaming and the pre-recording. Schultz is all there are no live streams of an Andrew
Yeah,
Schultz
every-
podcast.
And it's
Yeah,
longer
yeah.
format,
Yeah,
so they
so
can
they
cut
have
and
they have the
cut
freedom
paste.
exactly.
They cut
Exactly,
paste a
that's it,
lot
yeah.
actually, and they try to take the funnier moments and the slightly more meaningful moments and put it together.
And see,
We don't have
don't
either.
have any.
We don't have either of these
choice.
options.
Yeah.
We just have moments, if you want to call it loosely, and we do our best. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
Yeah.
Diet Coke, if
moments.
you're listening, we're like a diet show in that sense because we don't have enough substance. Yeah.
No, but I think
Succinct.
prep. In my
Thanks.
mind, prep is a big reason for the setup we have.
Yeah.
I think that most of.
But again, you were talking
this
about that
shows in
foreign
the-
fetish. This is an example. They want us to be like them. Why can't they be like us? Why can't
Yeah.
Rogan learn from me or Andrew Schultz should learn from me, for God's sake?
That's
Oh.
very
Ah.
true.
That is true.
Whose Netflix special got cancelled for reasons we can't
They
discuss.
do,
Yeah.
Who's Netflix special?
I don't want to get back into abortions and gender
Oh,
issues and all that, but it's all part of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
show. Yeah, okay. So guys, don't look
Andrew
at me.
Schultz's Netflix special.
No. So basically, he had a Netflix deal, but they were asking him to censor some of his jokes, and he was like, I'm not gonna do that, so I'm gonna not do
It
it.
makes sense. He's got the bigger platform. YouTube is the bigger
Yeah.
platform. He'll make more
But
money.
as Silvery said, that's what he kept saying for the last 6 months. Then he backed off while the Netflix deal
But
was
then-
happening, and now
2
he's
years
gone.
actually, yeah.
But if
Gone
Netflix
back.
allows like Chappelle to say whatever he wants, how come they went? They don't want to extend that to Andrew.
I'm guessing Chappelle is Chappelle and
Hmm.
Andrew Schultz
Yeah.
is not Chappelle.
That's mean.
No, it's
No,
what
I
it
mean,
is. I
Chappelle
think,
is
yeah.
considered he's
The
considered
goat.
the best.
And
yeah.
I think Chappelle just
Yeah.
doesn't care anymore. He's just so
Yeah.
big that he'll just
Yeah,
start his
yeah,
own
yeah.
new Netflix
Yeah.
or something like that, and it'll stream
Yeah,
anyway.
if he puts his stuff on YouTube, the numbers would just explode,
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
I mean, like I think he's single-handedly carrying like one company for sure, just because they have his content. So I mean, like it's
Mm.
And next discussions, Pete Davidson quits SNL. That's a very sad moment for Silvery.
he was
He
not the
quit a
only
long
one, no,
time
3 or
ago,
4
but-
people
Oh,
quit
there were
SNL.
bigger
I
people
just
that
got
quit at that time.
Kate McKinnon.
Where's my
AD
research team?
Michael Che, I think,
Kyle?
also is quitting.
Michael Che is also gone.
No, I think Michael.
I
Che
think
also
he's-
quit.
Yeah.
So
No,
he
Michael
definitely
Che
there was
is
an
still
announcement,
on.
and then he was, I think, for this season he walked it back. He had quit last season, and then
Okay.
he walked it back this season. So I don't know if he's supposed to leave at the end of the season of this next season or not. But
Yeah.
there was an
AD,
announcement. at least.
Kate,
But
Kyle, and
A guy
Pete
named
left
after a
together.
sneeze. I mean, when you think about it, Michael Che. Okay. And on
You
that
have to end the show
glorious
now.
note, we
You
stop.
ruined
So,
it.
We
you
quit.
know, the funniest thing Michael Che did was with Scarlett Johansson's husband, right?
Yeah,
What? He's
The-
gay?
Colin
you know,
Jost. Colin Jost. No.
Colin Jost. Yeah, they do the.
they do the Christmas joke.
Each other's jokes. Yes.
other's
Yeah,
each
they
other's
do
jokes.
switch.
Yeah,
Switch,
yeah.
switch the joke.
Very
and they
funny.
make
Very,
them
very
all
funny.
read them. It's
Hey,
very good.
Silvery, we should
Yeah.
try that, but not jokes because we have one joke each.
No, because then Cyrus, we will all get cancelled.
Yeah.
He says your jokes.
Yes.
Okay. Samapti ka samay,
Ji,
Okay.
Namaste, namaste.
says Parsh. I
Have a good
suppose
day.
that's yeah, I think he's trying to tell us to stop talking. Sounds like my parents, man. Nothing's changed years later. Young kid coming and saying, shut up. Okay. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.